turned up a handgun.
He did flee that location where the search was taking place and was able to get out of the school.
As the search continues, parents of East High students confronting Chief Thomas and Mayor Michael Hancock.
No more words.
I appreciate it.
No more kids marching to your office.
Students from East High skipped class earlier this month to march to Colorado's state capitol to demand stricter gun laws following the death of a classmate shot while sitting in a car near campus.
Fox's Matt Napolitano. Fox's Alicia Acuna has a son, 2 stepsons, and a niece in that school and says parents were not made aware that there was enough concern about certain students to require pat-downs. The Fed chief still says there's a long way to go on inflation.
Inflation remains too high, and the labor market continues to be very tight.
So they're making another quarter-point rate hike even after recent bank failures. Chairman Jay Powell offering reassurance about that.
Our banking system is sound and resilient with strong capital and liquidity. We will continue to closely monitor conditions in the banking system and are prepared to use all of our tools as needed to keep it safe and sound.
He does suggest that possible tightening in credit conditions could help the Fed's inflation-fighting efforts. The grand jury hearing a hush money case against former President Trump is not meeting today after all, now on standby for tomorrow, so no decision yet on a possible indictment in a case that Trump calls a witch hunt. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Not going away. 50 degrees downtown. Radar shows some light rain around Indy. Not supposed to get much colder tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. Today's scattered showers will lead to stronger storms tomorrow.
It's looking like up around 2 to maybe upwards of 2.5 inches by Indianapolis. Down by Bloomington, it could be more towards 3 to 4, maybe even 5 inches in some spots.
Matt Eckhoff with the National Weather Service says the rain will pick up Thursday night into Friday morning. Flooding will be something to watch out for in low-lying areas. Eaton police say the search for a missing 14-year-old boy has not been called off. Scotty Morris was last seen around 8:30 p.m. March 17th. Officers in Eaton are working with several agencies, including state police, to try and find him. If you know anything, give the Eaton Police Department a call. You might have heard about the crash on I-74 Tuesday afternoon. Police in Boone County now have a good idea of how it happened. John Herrick reports.
On eastbound I-74, the Boone County Sheriff's Office says one of the tires on a semi blew out and the driver ended up hitting a utility van, which then caused the van and the semi to cross the center line and hit another semi. Police say 4 people were injured, but their injuries are not life-threatening. The Boone County Fatal Alcohol Crash Team is looking into it. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A bill authored by your senator was vetoed by the president. Senator Mike Braun's bill would have restricted how investors can take ESG into account when buying and selling stock on Wall Street. ESG trading looks at how companies handle environmental and social issues. Braun says that's the wrong way to go about it.
Get the best investment out there based upon the numbers, not on a woke agenda.
Braun talking to Fox News. He says it's unlikely the veto gets overridden since the bill did not have much bipartisan support. Noblesville High School will be expanding, possibly. Their school district announced Wednesday they're planning on spending about $39 million on an expansion that would add 22 new classrooms, STEM labs, more performing arts space, and an extra cafe. It's all going to be funded by a loan, so there won't be an increase to the public tax rate. The school board will vote on the project this summer. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
One of the best things that has happened here in Indianapolis is the arrival of QC Kinetics. Their amazing regenerative medicine treatments have helped so many people get lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Tony Katz here, and the demand for QC Kinetics treatments is so strong, they are opening another clinic in Carmel while continuing to treat in Eagle Creek and Greenwood. QC Kinetics, they're the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, utilizing a modern-day approach to deal with chronic joint pain. It's an all-natural process that uses healing properties from your own body to restore and repair damaged tissue in your joints so you can get your life back without that chronic pain and without surgery or drugs. You've been hearing about it, so stop putting it off. If you have arthritic pain or pain from an injury, do what so many already have done. Call QC Kinetics. It's a free consultation. Call QC Kinetics now. 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN. In Eagle Creek, Greenwood, and now in Carmel. 317-559-PAIN.
With traffic on the 5s at 3:05, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, looking at inbound, 69, crash 86th Street, and right now we have a couple of lanes blocked on the right side. Traffic is stopped back to 106th Street, and eastbound 465, slow out of Keystone over 269. Rain is falling. Please turn on your headlights. Traffic sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. Get 50% off tax prep at Jackson Hewitt. 50% off is a limited time offer for new clients filing at participating locations. Max value $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Should be a wet day today, damp with highs in the mid-50s, lows tonight in the mid-50s with a few showers and thunderstorms developing early Thursday morning. We'll see highs on Thursday top out in the mid-60s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 Stephanie Meade for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. The Trump grand jury called off today, delaying a possible indictment. I feel like sometimes we throw around these words like indictment, assuming people know what it means. Like these group, like this grand jury, they're just going to write a formal statement saying, hey, look, Donald Trump is accused of such and such and such. Here you go. Go get him. Go arrest him. That's
we
what
think
this
there's
is.
enough evidence to warrant the arrest. And then after the indictment comes the arraignment. The arraignment is really what all people have their eyes on. Because if they indict the Orange Man, they're going to have to arrest him, arraign him. And what's that going to look like? Is that going to be a circus?
It's funny. Well, the answer is yes. But it's funny explaining this to people that aren't inside this bubble. Like my wife is, she's got her own, she's got a job outside of this world. She's in sales. She's like, wait, what are they doing? I heard something about Trump and maybe getting arrested. I go, yeah, back in 2016, he paid off a porn star and to keep her mouth shut so it wouldn't interfere with the 2016 election. And now they're saying that was illegal because that was technically a campaign contribution and it should have been disclosed. And you should see the confused look on her face. I mean, the confused look on my face, for God's sake. We've already been through this with the Southern District of New York. The feds didn't want any part of this. We've been down this road. They've been investigating it for years now. This is politically motivated all the way from the top of the Attorney General, Letitia James, who did campaign on the fact that she was going to get Trump. She stepped down from her campaign to run for governor, saying we've got more work to do in the Attorney General's office to prosecute Trump. And we all know what this is about. They're scared of this guy.
And these people in positions of power in New York, that was their campaign promise. Yeah. It wasn't to clean up the streets or to get rid of the murderers or the violent offenders or the sex trafficking of children. That wasn't any of their goals. Their goals were to go after Donald Trump, which, okay, I guess campaign promises made, campaign promises kept, but it seems just a bizarre flex that this is the most important thing that's happening in Manhattan.
Well, it's the biggest story in the country right now. It continues to be, and I believe that is to the detriment of the liberals. It is to the detriment of its district attorney, who I think is going to be embarrassed eventually, and it's to the benefit of Donald Trump and galvanizing and invigorating his base leading up to the GOP primary and then possibly after that the 2024 election.
Now, the grand jury was called off today. Today, we were told that they were going to hear from another witness. So calling this off has raised a lot of speculation. And again, the official statement from the courts in Manhattan, we do not talk or give specifics on case information. All right, fine. But from what we're hearing, the people in the know claim there may be a little dissension inside the grand jury. Some folks inside that grand jury that say, there's really not a lot here. I know all the pressure and the spotlight is on this case here, but there might not be a lot here.
And there might be pressure within the, dissension in the ranks in terms of the prosecutor's office there in Manhattan as well. What are we doing? What is
so
this?
Michael Cohen, if you remember this guy, he was the fixer for for Donald Trump. He was an attorney, but more than anything else, he was the fixer. He was the one that secured the payments for Stormy Daniels. Michael Cohen, his testimony and some audio tapes that he have are really the basis for this whole thing. But his legal advisor, Robert Costello, he was someone that spoke to the grand jury a couple of days ago. And I think some of the testimony of Costello could be why you're seeing a pause in the grand jury, at least for today, because Costello was saying that this radical DA left out nearly 600 pages.
Imagine that.
Of previously turned over information, and the grand jury's not getting the full picture here. As a matter of fact, Greg Jarrett, who is the Fox News legal expert, went on with Sean Hannity last night to talk specifically about this.
I mentioned it yesterday. I think when Bob Costello got into that grand jury room and told them, wait a minute, you don't have the hundreds of pages I handed over to Alvin Bragg over here. You only have 6 cherry-picked documents, hiding from grand juries. Exculpatory information is reprehensible and unconscionable. And, the conduct of Alvin Bragg and his henchman Mark Pomerantz, who specifically says in his book, we're targeting Trump because we don't like his beliefs, those guys should face disbarment proceedings.
We don't need those 600 pages that they didn't see. We got the testimony of Michael Cohen.
We've got 6 here.
Yeah, there's 6 pages. Forget about the fact that Cohen's a convicted liar and a felon. Don't worry about that. We'll just rely on his testimony in these 6 pages, and it should be all good. That's all we need.
I want to go back to something we mentioned at the top of this break, the circus, right? Because if there is an arraignment, what can we expect? Now, the New York Times and The Guardian have a story out about the possible arraignment of Donald Trump. So take this for what you will. It's from The Guardian and The Times. But, quote, former President Donald Trump reportedly not only welcomes being perp-walked by authorities in Manhattan, but he has been telling those close to him he wants to create as much of a spectacle as possible. So in the event an indictment comes down, here comes the arraignment, get ready. You're going to see some P.T. Barnum, some Vince McMahon, some all types of hell-breaking loose stuff that you haven't seen before with Donald Trump if he has to do the handcuffs behind his back and the perp walk in front of the cameras.
How much money Trump has raised since all this started going down? His campaign's got to be doing very well.
Well, according to The Guardian, Hugo Lowell, $1.5 million since the warning of the arrest of the indictment.
So last Saturday, he's raised $1.5 million.
$1.5 million.
Man, have you seen, just a real quick side note, maybe I could post the link on our Twitter site, but have you seen the AI-generated photos of Trump getting arrested? They look real. Look at these things.
Like these AI pictures and deep fakes, they look real.
I'll post it. It shows Trump running away from the cops, and then it shows the cop. It looks totally real. It shows Trump with a mugshot. It shows him holding an AR-15 in Mar-a-Lago.
Do you think there's a dumb person somewhere that actually thinks that's real?
Yes, there are. That's the problem with AI. I'll post that at Hammer and Nigel right now. It's crazy. And it looks totally real.
So just a reminder, just so we're all on the same page here, while yes, this is the biggest story in America right now, don't forget that Joe Biden peddled political influence, sold out America, took millions in cash from China, laundered it through his family business.
Oh.
It's weird how as soon as that story broke, boom goes the dynamite, here comes the Trump arrest news. And that story has fallen completely out of the news cycle. But if you're looking to have some fun with the family and maybe have family game night, here's an all-new game from Hammer and Nigel Products that you'll learn, laugh, and love.
Board games should be fun for the kids and teach them how the real world works.
Hush Money.
Hush Money, a game of power, privilege, and payoffs. Roll the dice. Pick a payoff card.
DUI? I'm gonna have to buy this for silence.
Lawyer up, threaten the DA, bribe a juror. Everything goes when you play Hush Money.
I got caught with a stripper while my wife was pregnant.
But make sure to hold on to that get out of jail free card.
Oh no! I've been indicted by the grand jury.
Get away with it and you win.
Hush Money.
Trust me, Dad. They'll never find that body.
Hush Money, the game you play under the table.
Hush Money.
Fun for the whole family. Hush Money from Hammer and Nigel Products. Matt Bear, what's up?
Looking at inbound 69 right now, crash at 82nd Street. It's a big one. 3 right lanes are blocked, leaving only the left lane available for travel right now. Traffic is stopped back to 116th Street. That's a 49-minute delay. I'm going to Allisonville Road instead. Traffic sponsored by Isaacs & Isaacs. Dog bite injury? Call Isaacs & Isaacs, the law firm Indiana has trusted for over 20 years. They'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. Click and get help quick at WeWin.com. That's WeWin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Can you guys feel the excitement in the air today?
Oh, it's palpable.
Everybody's got a little spring in their step today because it's national championship game in Biden Madness later on. 4:48 today. We will announce the winner of yesterday's matchup and then turn right around and have the national championship of Biden Madness. There's going to be fanfare, pageantry. You won't want to miss it. That's coming up a little bit later on. Right now, it's 51 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Mom, Dad, Sis?
Here we go again.
Why are you in a suit? Picture, if you will, a world with the best network imaginable. I'm talking about the Xfinity 10G network. Go on. Mom, remember how your reality shows wouldn't load with all of us online? Now you can binge. And Susie, we'll have fast internet in the basement.
Nice.
If you have any questions, here's my card.
This is just your name on a gum wrapper.
Introducing the 10G network only from Xfinity. The future starts now. Now through April 23rd, new customers can get 200 megabit Xfinity internet during our limited time Xfinity 10G network launch celebration for just $25 a month for 2 years. Plus, there's no annual contract required and you get Wi-Fi equipment included. Go to Xfinity.com/10G, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and devices. Actual speeds vary.
For the first time ever since opening its doors, the Indianapolis Men's Clinic is now the only men's health organization offering an intimacy guarantee. That's right. If you don't perform, you don't pay. You heard that right. Restoring intimacy is important to everyone. Helping men with a proven solution is what drives success. That's why the Indianapolis Men's Clinic stands by their intimacy guarantee. Now you will have the assurance and confidence of proven outcomes without the fear of financial loss. By using the latest technology for the treatment of ED, acoustic wave therapy uses pressure waves to open existing blood vessels, which restores spontaneity and intimacy for you and your loved one. Stop trusting companies that feed you empty promises with no results. Trust an intimacy guarantee. Trust the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic today. 317-999-9000. That's 317-999-9000 or IndianapolisMen'sClinic.com.
You see them coming in your rearview mirror. Big trucks can cause big wrecks on our Indiana roads.
I'm attorney Darryl Isaacs, the Hammer. We're here to stop these big trucks and their big insurance companies. If you've been injured by a dump truck, delivery truck, concrete truck, or any kind of big truck, we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
Click and get help quick at WeWin.com. That's WeWin.com.
At Indiana Foundation Service, we're proud to share some of what our customers have said about us.
I was having problems with water in my crawl space during heavy rains. I was concerned about mold and the air my family was breathing. I'm so happy I called. The problem was fixed, and I'm not stressed anymore.
Indiana Foundation Service can keep your home and family safe. Visit IndianaFoundation.com to book your free inspection.
Indiana Foundation Service, reliability from the ground up.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go, shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Life is all about enjoying the little moments. Don't miss out on them because of unexpected heart issues. At Community Health Network, you receive heart care you can trust. From simple screenings to life-saving diagnostic and interventional cardiology services, we offer it all, so you can get back to the moments that matter. Learn more about our services at ecommunity.com/heart. Community Health Network. Exceptional care simply delivered.
Learn how a Retire Shield plan from Crown Haven Wealth Advisors provides clear, straightforward retirement solutions that are custom-tailored for you. This Sunday on WIBC from 9 to 10 a.m.
This hour is powered by Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling, your American Standard air dealer in Johnson County.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
All right, a couple things to check out on Twitter, at Hammer and Nigel. I tweeted the link of all the Trump deep fake arrest pictures. Like, I don't know if these were generated by AI or somebody like a human being put these together, but they look real. Now, Trump's not been indicted. He's not been arrested. He hasn't, He
hasn't been tackled by police. That's what you're telling me, Nige.
But these pictures are hilarious. And it's really scary with AI. I mean, you're never going to know, like, these deep fakes. You're never going to know what to believe and what not. That's why I assume everything on the internet is fake. Everything on Twitter is fake. That's just my automatic starting position when I see something crazy. Oh, that's not real. That's either staged or they're in on it.
Right.
Or
most of things that go viral,
yes.
I feel like, are produced.
Yes, exactly.
It's not some sort of organic moment. Oh, I just happened to have my camera on that captured this.
Now, the other thing that's on, I just retweeted at Hammer and Nigel on Twitter, is the Amazon Prime driver walking through an active police standoff, a SWAT situation in North Carolina to deliver a package. What am I looking at here, Hammer?
So, in North Carolina, there was a situation. Now, this was a serious deal where there was some lunatic inside with a gun, and he had a son with him. So the SWAT team is there. Weapons are drawn, like we've all seen a SWAT situation before. Well, apparently that house had a delivery coming from Amazon Prime. So the driver, my man, he's like, I'm not trying to get in trouble at work. So he takes the package and he's getting ready to walk up to the house with all of the SWAT officers drawn on to deliver the package. And the officers stop him, basically like, what the hell are you doing? So he gives the officer the package, takes a photo of it to prove to his boss that he delivered the package and somebody signed for it.
Oh my God. I mean, it's the whole thing plays out on video. It is so funny, but it is also refreshing to watch someone committed to their job.
Right. Now, this was a serious deal because the guy inside ultimately took his own life. He shot his son, but his son's going to be okay. But this wasn't like some sort of, well, he knew it wasn't serious, so he was having fun. No, this dude wanted to deliver the package. He wanted somebody to sign for it, and he got proof. So my question is, how much of a ball buster is this guy's boss? You better deliver that package. I don't care if there are 40 officers there with their weapons drawn. That package gets delivered.
Either that or, like I said, maybe he is just a really hard worker. And maybe he knew that somebody inside that house needed that package right away. And he's committed to his job. He does his job without question. But just the funny thing is watching him walk. I mean, there's at least 20 cop cars.
He's very
in
calm.
this cul-de-sac.
Very cool.
And I'm not sure how he was even allowed to get as close as he was. He walked right up to the driveway, and they had, where they were stooped, where the cops were kind of knelt on one knee and just, watching the situation. And he breaks out his cell phone, hands the package to the cops, and takes a picture like those Amazon drivers usually do when they drop something off at your doorstep.
Imagine if you're one of those SWAT guys. You're probably thinking to yourself, there's no way this dumbass is going to walk right up there and drop this package off. There's no way. He's doing it.
Maybe they're all ribbing each other, elbowing each other. Look, he's actually doing it. No way. Maybe they're replacing bets.
I mean, he's lucky he didn't get a warning to be shot.
Yeah.
And maybe he did, but he seemed pretty cool, and somebody got the package. He got proof that it was delivered, got in his truck, made more deliveries. I've got another Amazon update for you here, Nige. Dateline Milwaukee. 32-year-old Milwaukee man thought it'd be a good idea to steal the Amazon delivery truck. So he got into a police chase because, let's be honest, it's kind of hard to hide when you've stolen one of those things that say Amazon on the side of it.
Easily recognizable. It's not like you stole a gray Toyota Corolla.
Right. So he gets in this police chase. He's driving over medians, got trapped at a gas station. Here is some of the police scanner radio.
Stand by, we're going to be going westbound. This guy has got to be whacked. Looks like he's trapped in the BP parking lot.
Be on driver in custody, and that was taken with keys.
Guy is whacked. I love it. Good. No one was hurt. They had about 10 cops surrounding that van. And you're right. It's pretty easily recognizable van. Right. I mean, it's kind of like Richard Kimball when he stole the ambulance out of the hospital in The Fugitive.
Good.
Eventually.
Good reference. Solid reference.
Eventually, it's not like he stole a Chevy Impala, which you're a dime a dozen.
A number of years ago, and I can't remember which station it was. I think it was Radio Now when it was here in this building, maybe when you worked here, Nige. Yeah. Somebody stole the Radio Now radio van and was out driving around on it. Like, that's another one where it's probably going to be pretty easy to find. Plus, there's a freaking transmitter on it. So they could literally track your every move as to where you're going. And yes, they did get it back. But we've had a lot of talk about Amazon last couple of days, whether it's ridiculousness with these vehicles or delivery drivers.
Or firings. Tens of thousands of Amazon tech designers and web people fired from Amazon.
It still only feels like yesterday where Indianapolis was on that short list of cities around the nation that could have received the big second corporate headquarters from Amazon. It was Indy and a number of other cities, and the Hammer and Nigel show. We were trying to get Indy to get the location. We started a letter writing campaign, not only explaining why Indy is the best choice, but ripping on some of the other finalists.
Dear Jeff Bezos, thank you for selecting Indy as a finalist for Amazon's second corporate headquarters location. We're a much better choice than the other cities on your list. For example, Roanoke, Virginia. Roanoke, Virginia. I apologize. The mere thought of living in a town like Roanoke puts me to sleep. In fact, I'd rather watch an endless loop of Joy Behar sitting on the toilet after Thanksgiving dinner than spend one day in Roanoke.
Oh, no.
Did you know the most famous person in Roanoke is a teenage YouTube celebrity named Cameron Sullivan? Who? There's a dead moth lying in the windowsill of my garage with more personality. Speaking of personality, the only thing more prevalent than all the Confederate flags are the toothless, shirtless rednecks wearing camouflage overalls. And finally, if you've ever had lustful thoughts involving a family member, then by all means, move to Virginia. That's where most family trees are straighter than an arrow. Sincerely, Hammer and Nigel. P.S. Did you know if you took out the second I in Virginia, it spells Virginia?
Seems like only yesterday. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
You remember the road trip you took together, the music you listened to, the laughter you shared. Visit Shane Company for a gift as special as your memories. Beautifully designed jewelry crafted with attention to every detail. With the largest selection of styles and a range of prices, it'll be easy to find a meaningful gift for someone special in your life. A ring is always a beloved gift. Choose a stylish band, a signet ring, or a 3-stone anniversary ring. To celebrate a year together, or a lifetime of love, give a gift with diamonds, like diamond stud earrings. We offer both natural and lab-grown diamonds. Jewelry featuring a colorful gemstone makes a wonderful gift because it's so personal. Every stone has unique properties and its own symbolic meaning. Shane Company sources the most beautiful gemstones from around the world, so you have the best selection to choose from. Sapphires in over a dozen colors, opals, rubies, and more. When you give your gift, it'll be another special moment to remember.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
Well, I'm telling you, the longer you have those old drafty windows, the more money you are wasting on your heating bills over time. Window Nation has saved their customers and me over $60 million on their energy bills. And they're saving you even more money with this amazing deal. 2 free windows with every 2 you buy, plus 0 money up front.
If you're thinking about sprucing up the house a little bit, maybe getting some windows done, take advantage of this deal from Window Nation, because you can save thousands of dollars with this deal. Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. And it's any style and no limit. You want to buy 4, you get 4 for free. 866-90-NATION. Call them today. Oh, did I mention that you don't pay anything for 2 years? Yeah, you don't pay anything for 2 years. 866-90-NATION. They will answer any questions that you have, but you have to hustle. Call them today so you can lock the deal in. 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
My drinking was out of control. It was tearing my family apart and controlling my life. I had a choice, and I chose Landmark Recovery's addiction treatment program. They showed me a proven pathway to recovery. What will you choose?
Choose life. Choose Landmark Recovery. Visit landmarkrecovery.com to learn more.
'93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
When to expect more rain, 50 degrees, cloudy downtown with some light rain on your radar. Lows stay in the 50s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:31. Light rain today in Indiana, but much more tomorrow.
We've got a lot of rain on our way Thursday, but it looks like it's mainly going to be late in the day Thursday, maybe Thursday night into Friday. Most of the day Thursday could be actually fairly quiet.
Matt Eckhoff with the National Weather Service says most places in central and southern Indiana could get anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rain between Thursday and Friday. Interest rates are going up again. The Federal Reserve's latest rate hike was 0.25 percentage point. The increase comes as the Fed tries to get a hold of inflation and hasn't been this high in decades. Police are searching for a student accused of shooting 2 faculty members at a Denver high school.
As part of a safety plan, they were undergoing a search. During that search, obviously a weapon was retrieved, a handgun was retrieved, and several shots were fired, striking those 2 individuals.
Police Chief Ron Thomas says the incident happened this morning at East High School. He says the 2 victims were taken to a hospital. One is in surgery, the other is stable. A serious car accident happened in Sullivan Tuesday. One man passing by stopped and saved a life. Parker Carlson reports.
Police believe that the driver fell asleep on US 41, then crashed into trees. The car soon burst into flames with the driver still inside. Before help could arrive, one man passing by saw the wreck. Police say that Darren Bucklers immediately stopped to help. He pulled the driver from the flames, and thanks to his help, medics were able to get the driver to the hospital. Parker Carlson, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A man in Florida was arrested on a misdemeanor battery charge after police say he slapped his wife in the face with a slice of pizza. Officers say the couple was arguing over their kids' discipline when the man decided the best way to end the argument was by wielding a slice and targeting his wife's head. That all happened before the cops arrived. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:33.
What good is faith? Pastor John Gable of Tabernacle Presbyterian Church in Indianapolis.
Faith in God is a wonderful gift. At TAB, we desire to be a resource for those who want to grow deep and strong in their relationship with God through teaching, worship, and prayer. But we also know that faith does no one any good if it doesn't help them to become more Christ-like by engaging and serving our neighbors, the community, and the world. TAB has a long history of putting hands and feet to faith through active service and ministry, just as Jesus did. If you'd like to learn more about having an active faith, stop on by or visit us at tabpres.org.
Tabernacle Presbyterian Church, 34th Street and Central Avenue in Indianapolis, invites you to worship Sunday morning at 8 or 10 a.m. If you can't make it in person, tune in to Sunday with Tab, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WIBC, or find us online at tabpres.org.
With traffic at 334, here's Matt Baer.
Crash inbound 69 at 82nd Street. 3 right lanes are blocked. People are using the exit to 82nd Street and also using the far left lane to get by. Traffic is stopped back to 116th. And a crash south side, northbound 65 before 465 at the Thompson Road. It's on both shoulders with traffic slow to Edgewood Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road or on North Shadeland, DrexelIN.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Should be a wet day today, damp with highs in the mid-50s, lows tonight in the mid-50s with a few showers and thunderstorms developing early Thursday morning. We'll see highs on Thursday top out in the mid-60s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 Stephanie Meade for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Love this. It's hilarious. The woke Democrat Attorney General in Nevada, who just a few years ago helped make it very difficult to jail thieves, now says that retail theft is out of control in his state. Don Jr., your thoughts?
No shit. Who could have seen that coming? I had no idea.
So a couple of years ago, the Nevada Democrat Attorney General worked on legislation to make it harder to jail criminals.
Yeah, Assembly Bill 219. It's their attempt to do away with the lock 'em up and throw away the key culture. Right?
And now he's complaining that theft and crime is out of control.
Not only that, but he's presented another bill that would allow his office to investigate and prosecute organized retail theft crimes.
So I'm looking at the timeline here. In 2019, Aaron Ford emerged as the vocal supporter of Assembly Bill 236, this super progressive Democrat-led measure that overhauled Nevada's criminal justice system. This was around the time of prison reform. Remember that? Jail reform, prison reform, and everybody had to try to one-up each other. Included in this bill, which Ford was intimately involved in, was a provision that raised the threshold for felony from $650 worth of stolen goods to $1,200. So instead of, getting a felony for stealing $650 worth of items from a store, you just get hit with a misdemeanor now. You wouldn't get hit with the felony until it's over $1,000. And now, fast forward on March 2nd, he presented a bill that will allow his office to investigate and prosecute organized retail theft crimes.
In the numbers, I mean, look, we've seen this in California the past couple of years, which they decriminalized most retail thefts. San Francisco quickly skyrocketed to lead the nation in retail theft. Walgreens is moving out of state because of these policies, and people, again, stealing, $1,000 to $1,200 worth of merch, released without bail, no prison sentence, and there was no disincentive to commit these crimes. And these criminals are smart. They know it. I mean, how many times have we scrolled through Twitter, and whether it be in California and Nevada, have organized these retail thefts, like you put it, Hammer. Just walk in, start loading up trash bags full of crap, and walk
smash and grab
right back out.
Smash and grab.
And like you said, it's all due with justice reform and bail reform, and politicians have no clue. Well, I guess Aaron Ford, the AG, may have a little bit of a clue now that almost a 40% increase in retail thefts just on the Strip in drugstores in Nevada.
Because now the Las Vegas Strip, for those who haven't been there, or maybe you haven't been there in a while, it's not like back in the day where it's just all casinos and it's all adults. The Vegas Strip now, there's Walgreens there. There's a CVS there. There are retail stores up and down. It's kind of become mainstream. And when you have super soft crime policies, people are going to go there and do dumb things. Now, keep in mind, the Las Vegas Strip, from my perspective anyway, as somebody that goes there quite a bit, still a hell of a lot safer than walking around downtown Indianapolis at times. Just my opinion. And I would say the same thing about Nashville's main strip, Broadway. All three cities, Las Vegas, Nashville, and Indianapolis, Democrat mayors. But my city, the one that I come down to every single day, I see more ridiculousness here than I do in those high-profile tourist areas. It's ridiculous. Dateline, Arkansas passed the transgender bathroom bill for public schools. So Arkansas is the latest state to pass a law restricting the use of restrooms by transgender people in public schools. The law requires people to use the bathroom corresponding to the gender they were assigned at birth.
Imagine that.
And of course, people are saying that this is sexist and it's homophobic and it's some sort of ist. And listen, don't complain to the Arkansas school. Complain to what happened in Loudoun County. Because in Loudoun County, Virginia, this was kind of ground zero for all of these bathroom bills and things like that.
Yeah.
They had the open policy. Boys could go into the girls' bathroom. Girls can go in the boys' bathroom. They can go in together. Whatever happens, happens. Well, guess what? Stuff did happen.
Yeah, really bad stuff. Girl was sexually assaulted by a transgender boy, and the school tried to cover it up. Then that same transgender went to another school, did the same thing. And so when you say Loudoun County was ground zero, you're not joking. It was an outrage, and that's when people started taking notice of what was going on with these woke school boards that were passing these ridiculous rules about boys using girls' bathrooms, and they were labeled domestic terrorists because of it.
3 other states, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Tennessee, have passed similar laws this year, some of which have been challenged in court. But again, it's bizarre that this is such a hot take. You go to the restroom that corresponds with the sex you were born with. That should be pretty common sense. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. We don't always get what we want. I wish it were free beer all the time at work, but sometimes we have to buy our own and bring it in, Nigel. You don't always get what you want.
What kind of dump are we working at?
I can't believe they let us drink on the air and expect us to buy it. Unacceptable. Take me through this, speaking of booze and legal stuff here, take me through this Jack Daniels lawsuit.
The Jack Daniels, well, it's not just a lawsuit. It's in front of the Supreme Court. There's this company that makes like doggy chew toys. Like these little, I forget what the company's called. But they're saying, Jack Daniels is suing them, saying that this dog toy company violated federal trademark laws with a product that parodies its Jack Daniels bottles. This little squeaker toy for dogs looks like a Jack Daniels bottle. It's got the same kind of font. It makes a poop joke on the
I'm looking at it
bottle.
now. It's called the Bad Spaniels Silly Squeaker.
Jack Daniels Bad Spaniels.
And then it also, you're right, it's got a poop joke on there, because on the Jack Daniels bottle, it's got
what's it say?
It's a distiller's note, basically.
It says number 7.
Right.
Jack Daniels number 7 Tennessee whiskey. And I don't even know. I think that goes back to like way early on, old school. That was like the government's number for the distillery back. I mean, number 7. So
well, Bad Spaniels says number 2 on it.
Number 2 Tennessee for Tennessee carpets,
right,
or something like that. It's pretty funny. But this is in front of the Supreme Court. The same Supreme Court that had to rule on Roe v. Wade and is looking at illegal immigration. They're now having to, you got to remember, this company, this dog toy company, lost initially. A judge ruled against them, and then an appellate court upheld or reversed the ruling, and now it's the Supreme Court.
The appellate court was Team Bad Spaniels.
It's obviously, I think it's obviously a trademark infringement for sure.
Right.
There's no question about it, but they're saying, hey, look, this is just a joke. Jack Daniels is saying, No, this is ruining our reputation. I mean, people think that we're involved with this somehow. This chew toy with a, that has our font in it with a poop joke on it. No. And now Gorsuch and Kavanaugh and Coney Barrett and everybody's got to sit there and watch these two argue with each other.
Can you imagine Amy Coney Barrett asking a question now to the representative of Bad Spaniels? We're not going to get a major decision on abortion or election laws or anything like that, right, because we're worried about the lawsuit between Jack Daniels and Bad Spaniels. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday morning at 8. Learn the answers to frequently asked financial questions and get the latest investment news to help you get the most of your money. Visit creativeplanning.com/radio.
Hey, Casey.
Yeah.
How would you feel if you lost out on $111,000 in retirement income?
Probably not great.
Yeah, so get this. 96% of Americans lose out on an average of $111,000 in Social Security income. And it's because they claim their benefits at the wrong time. Hey, it's Kendall and Casey.
Learn how you can avoid this with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Dummery, your retirement guy right here in Indy. If you've saved at least $200,000 and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis now by calling 317-932-9912. This free, customized analysis shows you exactly how to get the most out of your Social Security benefits, and it won't cost you a dime. Call 317-932-9912. That's 317-932-9912.
Yeah, Mark Diedel's the only real estate agent I trust to sell my home, especially now that he's got this new guarantee. He guarantees your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or he'll just buy it himself. Take Brandy in Indianapolis, for example. She had an investment property, right, and needed to sell, but she was kind of worried that she had missed a boat on top dollar. She heard about Mark Dietl on our show, and he assured her his team would get it done, and boy, he was right. He had that home sold in 2 days for top dollar.
Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Let that sink in for a minute. Call Mark Dietl today and ask about this amazing guarantee. He'll answer any questions that you have. 317-755-4232. That's 755-4232. Or go to markdietl.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietl.com. Tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Save up to $170 on a set of 4 tires after rebate, or save even more when you finance at Bell Tire. But for just one day, Sunday, March 26, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Bell Tire's one-day Sunday sale. All tires, all brands, for any budget. Save up to $170 on a set of 4 tires. Sunday only, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you need new tires at the lowest tire price period, then save up to $170 on a set of 4 tires. Buy online, save time at Bell Tire. Installation at a later date. See store or belltire.com for details. Restrictions apply.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been solving garage door problems for 33 years. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. For service today.
Indianapolis is under attack, at war with rampant crime, drugs, and homelessness. But Mayor Hogsett is unwilling to join the fight. In fact, under Mayor Hogsett, Indianapolis now has a murder rate higher than Chicago. Do you feel safe knowing that? But Jefferson Shreve is ready to take back Indianapolis. Jefferson Shreve will put more cops on the street and give them the support they need. We don't have to live like this. Jefferson Shreve is ready to rebuild, restore, and reimagine Indianapolis. He's a winner in business, so he knows how to lead a team to turn things around. No more empty talk. It's time for action. Because another term for Mayor Hogsett is another 4 years of the same problems, only worse. This may send Hogsett a message. Vote for Jefferson Shreve for a change. Paid for by Shreve for mayor.
Ensure your comfort year-round. Join Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling Service Club from Johnson County's premier dealer. Call themarshallnow.com, your American Standard Air dealer.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's new design center on 146th Street at River Road or on North Shadeland. DrexelIN.com.
The latest local news. Commentary from Tony Katz. Kendall and Casey.
5.6%.
Hammer and Nigel.
Biden.
Podcasts. Listen to the station live whenever, wherever. Online at WIBC.com.
All right, we have got some concert tickets for you. Counting Crows coming to Indy Saturday, June 17th, TCU Amphitheater at White River State Park.
Cool.
So if you would like to go see the show Saturday night under the stars with Counting Crows, be caller number 9 right now at 239-9393. We have a fun little game that you're going to play, but you have to be caller number 9 right now. 239-9393. Matt Bear.
Crash southbound 69 at 82nd Street. 3 right lanes are blocked, leaving only the left lane for travel. Traffic is stopped to 116th Street. Stall on inbound 65 downtown in the north split. It's on the ramp to eastbound 70. Ramp is open, but the right lane is blocked. Traffic stopped past 21st. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road or on North Shadeland. DrexelIN.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
On Twitter, at Hammer and Nigel, Jim tweets at us in regards to the last story about the Supreme Court hearing the Bad Spaniels against Jack Daniels case. Our good buddy Kavanaugh's definitely going to need a cold beer after ruling on this Bad Spaniels case. Thank you, Jim. Right now, we've got partly cloudy skies, rain in the forecast now until Friday. It's 51 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. And let's play Counting Crows or Average Joe.
And now, time to play Counting Crows.
Ask for permission to rock.
Or Average Joe. Counting Crows or Average Joes on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Caller number 9 was Jaron. Jaron, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel Show. How are you?
Jaron.
Hey.
Jaron, are you a fan of the Counting Crows?
Yeah, I am.
Good, because they are coming into concert here in Indy Saturday night at the TCU Amphitheater at White River State Park. Tickets on sale courtesy of Live Nation, but you're going to have a chance to win them. And this is how we're going to play the game. It's called Counting Crows or Average Joes. I'm going to give you the name of someone. It will either be a member of the Counting Crows or just some random dudes that I grew up with. You get 3 out of 5 correct, I'm going to give you the tickets, okay?
All right.
All right. Number 1, my college roommate Dave. Counting Crows or Average Joes?
Come on.
I would say Average Joe.
Average Joe. That's right. He's an average Joe. He don't do a damn thing. 1 for 1. Got to get 2 more here. Number 2, Adam Duritz. Adam Duritz. Counting Crows or Average Joes?
Counting Crows.
Counting Crows, 2 for 2.
Lead singer.
You get 1 more correct. We're going to send you to the show. Counting Crows or Average Joes? The dudes who just fixed my plumbing.
Come on.
Ooh. I'll go with Average Joe.
There we go, baby. That easy. My man. Jared, who are you going to take to the show with you?
I'm going to take my beautiful wife.
Beautiful wife. Well, here's the deal. You won the tickets. She's the designated driver that night, okay?
Sounds good to me.
Good luck with that, by the way. Hang on the line. Allison will take care of you, okay?
I'll never forget mid to early 2000s, Counting Crows were in town, and me and this chick I was dating walked into Barnes & Noble there. I think it was on the corner of Meridian in Washington when it was still there. And the guy in front of us was Adam Duritz.
Really?
And I recognized him. Yeah, the chick I was with was a fan. We didn't say anything to him. He was buying a book. And the chick behind the counter, the clerk, was freaking out. Like she'd just seen Jesus. She was crying. She was blubbery. And like, I remember Adam Duritz kind of like turning around and looking at me and the girl I was with, and I go, I don't know. So we were just holding out our hands, like, he goes, no, it's okay. She's like, oh, such a big fan. I mean,
dude,
tears streaming down her face. He ended up walking out of the place without making a purchase.
Oh, no.
I will never forget that as long as I live.
You missed the opportunity for a major power move, because when Adam turned around and looked at you, you should have said, it's okay, I'm on local radio. I get this a lot. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
In order for small businesses to thrive, they need to be smart, efficient, agile, staying ahead of the market at every turn, and finding ways to do more with less. That's never been more important than it is right now. So for a limited time, Comcast Business is introducing Small Business Savings, a deal for companies across the country. When you call in now, you can get powerful internet for just $39 a month for 12 months. $39 a month, with no annual contract and a money-back guarantee. All on the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses, with the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. So if you're a small business owner, don't wait. Call and get started today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Offer ends 4/4/23. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 50 megabits per second internet customers only. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Call or go online for details. After promo, regular rates apply.
For the first time ever since opening its doors, the Indianapolis Men's Clinic is now the only men's health organization offering an intimacy guarantee. That's right. If you don't perform, you don't pay. You heard that right. Restoring intimacy is important to everyone. Helping men with a proven solution is what drives success. That's why the Indianapolis Men's Clinic stands by their intimacy guarantee. Now you will have the assurance and confidence of proven outcomes without the fear of financial loss. By using the latest technology for the treatment of ED, acoustic wave therapy uses pressure waves to open existing blood vessels, which restores spontaneity and intimacy for you and your loved one. Stop trusting companies that feed you empty promises with no results. Trust an intimacy guarantee. Trust the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic today. 317-999-9000. That's 317-999-9000 or IndianapolisMen'sClinic.com.
Chapters of this story take a whole month to tell. This is May. It starts with twists and turns on the IMS road course for the GMR Grand Prix. Then PPG presents Armed Forces Indy 500 qualifying and the Firestone Fast 6 shootout. May continues with Indy's biggest party, Miller Lite Card Day. And all roads lead to the 107th running of the Indianapolis 500 presented by Gainbridge. This is where heroes become legends and legends become legendary. This is May. Buy now and save. Get tickets at IMS.com.
Are you working way too hard for way too little? There's never been a better time to consider a career in IT. You could enjoy a recession-resistant career in a rewarding field with plenty of growth opportunities and often flexible work environments. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. You could start your new career in months, not years. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to qualified students, including the GI Bill. Now is the time. mycomputercareer.edu.
The 64th Annual O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels. World of Wheels Custom Car Show. March 24th through 26th, Indiana State Fairgrounds. Discount tickets exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. See America's finest hot rods, customs, trucks, motorcycles. The cars are the stars. All weekend. The O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels. World of Wheels Custom Car Show. March 24th through 26th, Indiana State Fairgrounds. Purchase discount tickets exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts stores.
Looking to add that extra living space in your backyard? Have one of Indy Decorative Concrete's estimators out for a free no-pressure estimate. Get on the books now and enjoy your patio all summer long. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts.
The latest local news, commentary from Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, podcasts. Listen to the station live whenever, wherever. Online at WIBC.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, John Herrick reports on the concerns that come with the rain later this week. One person was hurt in a shooting northeast of downtown today, and some fire departments dealing with staffing issues. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. About 52 degrees downtown. You're listening to 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
A school shooting raising many questions on Lisa Brady, Fox News. 2 deans shot at a Denver high school after a handgun was found during a student's required search. Police are still searching for the suspect.
I started getting texts from my son saying that he was in an assembly, and then all of a sudden there were police officers everywhere, and there were ambulances, and that the assembly was shut down, and there were cops guarding their door.
Fox's Alicia Acuna also has 2 stepsons at that school and a niece who was hiding in a closet.
I had no idea, and a lot of other parents here had no idea that their kids were walking into the same school with other kids that were under a plan that were being patted down because there was enough concern to do so on a daily basis. When I asked why parents weren't being told this, I was told by the superintendent that that was to protect the privacy of the people who were being patted down.
Acuna also says school resource officers had been eliminated at East High School. Officials now say 2 officers will be added for the rest of the school year. As the manhunt continues, police also say the gun was not immediately recovered. One of the wounded administrators is critically injured, the other in stable condition. Fed Chair Jay Powell says the banking system is sound, while also suggesting recent bank failures could lead to tighter credit conditions and take some pressure off of the Fed's inflation-fighting efforts. But for now, they're sticking with rate hikes, another quarter-point increase today.
My colleagues and I understand the hardship that high inflation is causing, and we remain strongly committed to bringing inflation back down to our 2% goal.
The Fed also hinting, though, of an upcoming pause in hikes. Powell says they did consider pausing at this week's meeting. Wall Street digesting all of this, and the Dow finishing down 531 points at the bell after a bumpy ride late in the session. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Possible flooding. Cloudy, 52 degrees downtown. Most of the rain today has passed, but more expected tomorrow. Low of 50 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. Over the next few days, there's a concern about flooding in Indiana. John Herrick explains why.
Light rain today in Indiana, but then that will change.
We've got a lot of rain on our way Thursday, but it looks like it's mainly going to be late in the day Thursday, maybe Thursday night into Friday. Most of the day Thursday could be actually fairly quiet.
Matt Eckhoff with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says most places in central and southern Indiana could get anywhere from 2 to 5 inches of rain between Thursday and Saturday morning, lesser amounts in the northern part of the state. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
One person was hurt after a shooting in the northeast side this afternoon. IMPD says it happened off North Rural Street around 2:30, and the victim was sent to a hospital in critical condition. Officers are still investigating. The wreck that closed both lanes of I-74 in Boone County yesterday afternoon sent 4 people to the hospital. The Boone County Sheriff's Office says one of the tires blew out on a semi, which then hit a utility van, causing them to both cross the center line and hit another semi. All 4 people hurt were treated for non-life-threatening injuries. 3 people shot on the south side this morning. Police think it started with an argument. Kurt Darling reports.
It was at the Country Club Apartments where police believe the shooting happened. They say shortly after midnight, 2 women walked into a hospital with gunshot wounds. A man was also shot in the incident. Police say he was trying to shoot himself and the women were wounded trying to stop him. The man is said to be the husband of one of the women. He has been detained and the 2 women are recovering at the hospital. Kirk Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
It's not just businesses that are struggling with staffing issues, but also some fire departments. Bloomington Fire Chief Jason Moore says they'll still be there, though, when called upon.
I can guarantee that we will be there. We have not missed any calls. We have not had
any disruption of service. We also had aid agreements if we needed it.
Talking to Wish TV, his department is about 20 responders short of being fully staffed. The average price for a gallon of gas in Indiana today, $3.46. That's according to GasBuddy.com. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
A horrific car accident left Paula with major injuries and surgery after surgery.
I got to the point where I really couldn't walk. I had to resign from work. I was really just laying in bed. It was terrible. I wouldn't go back under the knife.
She missed working and traveling, but all that was about to change. QC Kinetics used natural biologics to treat Paula. No foreign substances. They provided regenerative treatments that helped subside the pain and restore her quality of life.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I was feeling more movement and doing stuff. And then I started crying. I'm like, I can't believe it.
For Paula, this moment was extremely emotional.
I couldn't do nothing. And now I'm working, and I was on my feet for 7.5 hours, and I feel good. I got my life back because of QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics now for your consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 317-559-PAIN. That's 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05. What's going on, Matt Bear?
All right, here it is, Harrison. Inbound 69. It is a crash at 82nd Street, and 3 right lanes are blocked and 3 semis involved in this, and one of them is tore up. We are stopped back to 116th Street because of this crash. People are exiting to 82nd Street right now, doing it slowly, carefully. Looking at southbound 65, stop traffic after 29 to the north split because of an earlier stall that has cleared. Traffic sponsored by Isaacs and Isaacs. If you've been injured in a car wreck, the team at Isaacs and Isaacs will fight to get you the money you deserve. Just click and get help quick. Go to WeWillWin.com. That's WeWin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Should be a wet day today, damp with highs in the mid-50s, lows tonight in the mid-50s with a few showers and thunderstorms developing early Thursday morning. We'll see highs on Thursday top out in the mid-60s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 Stephanie Meade for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
Crime continues to skyrocket in our fair city of Indianapolis. Hammer, 240 people shot or stabbed, 48 killed in the first 80 days of 2023, on a pace of 200-plus homicides unless something is done. And so far, I don't see the prosecutor, I don't see the mayor, I don't see anybody from the Indy City County Council out on a podium. I don't see anybody outraged. I see Joe Hogsett doing photo opportunities, planting trees on the weekend newscasts. And it's a really shameful for this city.
And it's not just Republicans that are noticing this, because it's easy to be partisan, right? It's a Democratic mayor, it's a Democratic prosecutor, it's a heavy Democrat city county council. The Democrats run the show in Indianapolis. They've got all the power. But it's not just Republicans who are noticing this. So Beech Grove has a Democrat mayor, Dennis Buckley. I know Dennis. He's a good man.
He was on the show at one point?
He's been on here before.
Okay.
Yes. We don't always agree on the same things, but it feels like there's 2 types of Democrats, right? There are the traditional style of Democrats, which I would put people like Bill Maher and Woody Harrelson in the category. Then there's the lunatic progressive side, AOC, Cori Bush, Ilhan Omar. Mayor Dennis Buckley is kind of a throwback to the former rather than the latter. But he tells our news gathering partners at Wish TV that he, as a Democrat in Marion County, a mayor, he's fed up with Boss Hogsett and the Democrat-led city county council here in Indianapolis because the crime is starting to spread.
Crime is out of control, and it's being pushed out to the suburbs of Marion County.
And this is something Rick Snyder has talked about when he's joined us multiple times.
I've said it for years. It's not just located in one spot. It's everywhere, and it's permeating throughout into the donut counties.
And another major problem that you're seeing with crime on the rise, homicides and stabbings all being at ridiculous levels right now. You've also got a staffing crisis. IMPD, way short on police officers. Now, Beech Grove has its own police department. If you've watched the On Patrol, you see that they're embedded with Beech Grove this year. But don't forget about the first responders. There's a major staffing crisis with 911 operators. And take a listen to what Mayor Dennis Buckley of Beech Grove said about that problem.
Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m., there were 13 911 calls on hold for over 18 minutes.
Wow.
How is that acceptable to anybody? Are you kidding me? Something terrible could happen to you or to whoever the person is. So that's my concern, and it affects the people that live in the city of Beech Grove, and that is my priority.
That is a crazy number. I mean, multiple people on hold for 18 minutes, dozens of people on hold for at least 18 minutes or more.
And I'm not ripping whoever is handling the 911 calls. They probably are completely overworked, swarmed. So many calls are coming in of various things going on. But this shows you the staffing crisis. So how do you fix that? How do you fix the shortage of officers, the staffing crisis of first responders? Again, Democrat mayor from Beech Grove, he's got some problems with the city-county council. He claims they can fix a lot of this.
The city-county council has the leverage to pay higher wages and benefits to these men and women who serve as police officers, sheriff's deputies, and those men and women who work in the communications center. It's a shame.
I mean, they have given raises, right? But maybe it's not enough. Maybe there's more work to do in that area.
Right.
In keeping and retaining talent. I mean, because when you can go make just as much money in a county that's not as active as in Indy here, you could go make more money in a county where the administration that runs that county actually appreciates you.
That's the thing. To me, that's what it's all about. Like, you're willing to put up with working in a major city if you feel like the city has your back, right? If you live in Indianapolis, of course, you're going to be busier than an officer in Avon or an officer in Beech Grove. But you better be paid accordingly. What they're being paid right now, it's a raise. It's pretty good. But considering what this mayor, what this prosecutor put these officers through, having to arrest a lot of the same people over and over again, it's almost not worth it for a lot of folks.
Oh, let's not forget, the day after the riots, I mean, Mayor Hogshead basically threw IMPD under the bus, apologized for their behavior last night during the riots.
That was the first time we saw Boss Hogshead, by the way, because he was nowhere to be found during the riots. Yeah. And there's a lot of rumors and allegations about what condition he was in. Was he sober? Was he in rehab? We don't know. We're just going to tell you that those rumors are out there. But the reason they're out there is nobody other than my dad has the balls to ask the mayor, where were you the 2 nights of the riots? Local elections matter, man. It really do. And this is an election year in Indianapolis. It's not a big election. That's next year for the president and Senate seats and House seats and a lot of things. But you elect the mayor this year in Indianapolis. Local elections matter. So look at what's happening here in Indianapolis. And here's another example. There's a city in Colorado, Louisville, Colorado. Not Louisville, Kentucky. It's Louisville, Colorado. This is a very heavy Democrat-ran city. They have banned bringing in new gas stations because it goes against their fight against climate change, Nigel.
You hear me rolling my eyes. I mean, it's just like in California where they want to ban the manufacturing of automobiles, gas-powered automobiles. They want to ban that by 2035. So here in this little town in Colorado, there's 21,000 people and 6 gas stations. Sorry, no more gas stations for you. But you have to remember, Joe Biden condones this. Joe Biden campaigned on this. Joe Biden got elected on the platform of saying goodbye to fossil fuels, getting rid of those coal mining jobs, shutting down the XL pipeline, shutting down offshore drilling. I mean, I will give him a scintilla of credit, some random confused act of clarity. He did approve the Willow Project there in Alaska.
Did he know that's what he was doing?
I don't know, but he certainly overall has done more to hinder and suppress energy production in this country.
This is the councilwoman, Maxine Most of Louisville, Colorado.
Who cares? I don't even hear from
Quote, "We have an obligation to take every step possible to address the changes to our climate that are ravaging our planet and directly impacting the health, well-being, and livelihoods of the constituents we represent in Louisville, Colorado."
Okay.
21,000 people, 6 gas stations, and they're telling other gas stations that would like to come in and maybe help out, open up a business, which they should have a right to do. No, sorry, you're poisoning the planet. Now, if you excuse us, we're going to go pay attention to all these people shot, stabbed in Democrat-led cities, but then we're going to tell you that the biggest threat to our existence is the climate change. Oh, by the way, didn't you tell us we were all supposed to be dead about 30 years ago at this point? How long are we going to continue with Al Gore's bullcrap? All right, Matt Bear standing by in the WIBC Traffic Center.
Inbound 69 crash at 82nd. It is a big one. 3 semis involved and 3 right lanes are blocked. Traffic stopped. Back to 116th Street. Inbound 65 still jammed 21st Street to the north split because of an earlier stall that has cleared. Traffic sponsored by Comcast Business, introducing small business savings from Comcast Business. For a limited time, you can save money on powerful internet. So don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
This forecast stinks. Like, it's not super cold. Like, I'm not going to act like it's super cold, but gray and rainy and just blah for the next couple of days. We got light rain, cloudy skies, 53 right now at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. This is basically going to be the forecast until Sunday. 54, 55, might be a little warmer tomorrow, but thunderstorms tomorrow, just a lot of rain. Very Seattle-like the next couple of days. The only things that can put me in a better mood are Biden Madness, the national championship, coming up about 30 minutes from right now. But next, we'll play a fun round of Is This Anything?
So my truck needed new tires, but I was dreading having to sit in a tire shop for 3 hours. That's when I heard about AAA's new mobile replacement tire service, My Pit Crew. They come to your house or your office and replace new tires. You don't have to do anything. Just pick out your tires online at AAA.com/MyPitCrew, schedule an appointment, and then sit back and relax.
Yeah, I had the My Pit Crew swing by the Hammer House, and they let you pick the tire, they will put it on your car, and they will come to your house. You don't even have to be a AAA member to use My Pit Crew, but AAA members do get a discount on their My Pit Crew tire installation. Visit AAA.com/MyPitCrew to pick out the tires and schedule your installation, and then relax. Let them come to you. Don't spend another Saturday at the tire shop. Contact the My Pit Crew team today. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
I had a colonoscopy. They didn't get very far before they found the tumor. My name is Andrea, and I am a colorectal cancer survivor. I had signs and symptoms for 10 years, and come to find out, I was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. By 2030, colorectal cancer is slated to be the #1 cancer-related death in those under 50, and that is unacceptable. The screening age for colonoscopies has been lowered to 45. Early detection is key.
Be unstoppable. Prioritize your health. It could save your life.
The 100% sure way to catch colorectal cancer is through a colonoscopy.
Schedule your colonoscopy today at franciscanhealth.org/colon care.
All of my surgeries were done at Franciscan. I knew that I was in good hands.
Pat Sullivan here. Do gurgling pipes and running toilets keep you up at night? Become a member at Hope Plumbing and have the comfort of knowing you have a plumber on call. For only $8 a month, you get the ease of having your own plumber on hand, a 10% discount on all plumbing services, 1 annual free mainline cleaning, 1 annual plumbing safety inspection, and all the trip charges waived. Call Hope Plumbing today and become a member to start saving big.
At Uline, They know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 38,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Are you working way too hard for way too little? There's never been a better time to consider a career in IT. You could enjoy a recession-resistant career in a rewarding field with plenty of growth opportunities and often flexible work environments. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. You could start your new career in months, not years. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to qualified students, including the GI Bill. Now is the time. mycomputercareer.edu.
Save up to $170 on a set of 4 tires after rebate, or save even more when you finance at Bell Tire. But for just one day, Sunday, March 26, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Bell Tire's one-day Sunday sale. All tires, all brands, for any budget. Save up to $170 on a set of 4 tires. Sunday only, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you need new tires at the lowest tire price period, then save up to $170 on a set of 4 tires. Buy online, save time at Bell Tire. Installation at a later date. See store or belltire.com for details. Restrictions apply.
This hour is powered by Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling, your American Standard air dealer in Johnson County.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll. Hammer, how do we play? Is this anything?
Every once in a while, a story comes my way, and I'm not really sure what to think about it. This is where I tap out and I defer to you.
All right.
You, Big Nige, will tell me if this story is anything or not. Is this anything? A grandmother and granddaughter, this TikTok duo, is laying out dating etiquette from the perspective of an 80-year-old.
Okay.
She talks about who picks the drinks, what to order, how to properly end a date. Which of this grandma's dating rules still apply for you? Take a listen.
The gentleman should always pull out a chair for a woman if they're going to a restaurant. The person who initiates the date should do the choosing of the liquor. If she's taking him out, then she should choose. You should not order the most expensive thing on the menu, or even share something. Say, you know, we could share. That would be work for me because I can't eat the whole thing. And I think when the date is over, he should get out of the car in front of her house or apartment and open the door for her.
You buying what Granny's preaching?
I think that was more or less. Hey, Allison, what did she say at the beginning? She said something about pulling out a chair and then you choose the liquor. What could you?
She was saying whoever suggests the date is the one who chooses the liquor. So that one I don't know about.
Sit down, Granny. We're drinking Pabst. You keep your mouth shut before you break a hip. Here comes the old Milwaukee.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I was dating.
Joking.
I think when I was, in my 20s, I think I'd pull out the chair. Sure, open the car door, at least when they're getting in the car. Now,
As God is my witness, I don't mean to cut you off, but I thought you were going to say, when in my 20s, I would have dated an 80-year-old.
It depends on how much money she had in the bank.
How much you had to drink?
Sharing an item on the menu, sure. Open the door at the end of the date. Well, it depends on, if she, sometimes you don't have the chance to open the door at the end of the date. She just gets out on her own.
Maybe she's super liberated, like that one chick at McDonald's when I held the door open for her.
Yeah, didn't you get yelled at?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I don't need a man to open the door for me. Well, F you. That's when Chris was with me, and he was just a little bitty squirt that I had to yell at this woman at McDonald's.
But all those sounded basically like, I don't know what it's like in today's dating world with all the apps and what the, what the etiquette is. I'm assuming there's still, like if I ask somebody out on a date, I expect to pay.
Yes.
Right?
It's a dude move. The dude pays. I'm sorry. If that's, wrong, I'm not going to apologize for it.
Like if I ask a girl out on a date and at the end I go, can you split the check? I'm not expecting anything, including a second date or a trip back to the house afterwards. You know what I mean?
Right. Allison, in the dating world today, you're a little bit younger than Nige and I. Like, is it still acceptable that the dude pays?
I think so, or at least offers. I think it's more, a lot of people now, we go, Dutch or whatever, you split, but it's the idea of offering, and not just assuming we're going to split.
So let's say you're out on a date, and at the end of the night, you've had a lovely meal, great conversation. He says, hey, sweet thing, we're going to split this bill up here.
I think sweet thing is the first red flag.
Yeah, that's it. But the other red flag, if he didn't say sweet thing, he's just said, hey, waiter, can you split it in half? That's no.
Yeah.
Right?
That's not for me.
Unless you offered. But even if you offer, though, even if the girl offers, let's go Dutch, unless that's maybe one of the conditions of the date, unless she makes that clear before. And then that to me says you're in the friend zone.
Yeah, totally. And there are some social situations where somebody will say, oh, I don't want your money, but you feel like you should give them money anyway. Like if you help a buddy move, oh, you don't have to buy me beer. You don't have to get me anything. You're expected to buy him some beer and tip him a little bit, right? That's how it works. If you're the dude, and even though she says, oh, you don't have to buy my dinner, be the dude. It's okay to be the dude and buy the dinner.
Allison, what about opening the car door at the beginning and the end of the date?
I was thinking about that. I personally, I can't remember the last time that's happened. There's a lot of, they're just, they'll text you that they're in front.
See,
and then you get in, and then they don't open the door. And then the chair thing, I can't remember a time in general I've had anyone open.
I think I would probably teach my teenage son, if he's going on dates, to go knock on the door.
Yeah,
don't text.
Please walk up to the door.
Introduce yourself to the mom and dad, and then when you're on your way back to the vehicle, open the door for her.
One thing I'm seeing, because I do have teenage boys, right? It's not that they want to be disrespectful, especially my younger one. He's a freshman. They have lived such a COVID sheltered life of growing into their adolescence. I don't think they know how to interact with people. No, you are supposed to go to the door. You are supposed to walk her to the car. That's how it works. They're scared to interact sometimes. That's like the young generation.
Social media is easier to interact in real life.
Right.
Well, 100%. I think too, you can tell when they're trying or not. If they forget to open the door, you can tell if they're nervous about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, Allison, what if he shows up and he knocks on the door and he does everything right and he's got flowers, but he's not wearing pants?
Well, does he call me sweet thing?
Good callback there.
Is this anything? Here's a teenage girl who can't stop crying after being told she has Taylor Swift tickets. Her older sister tricked her into thinking that they belonged to a friend, but then surprised her with the good news.
Look where her tickets are. Floor tickets to Taylor Swift.
Where's her seats, though?
On the floor. Why? Except for they're actually our tickets.
What?
I'm not kidding.
Stop. I want to cry.
It's a joke.
Stop. It's literally a joke.
It's not a joke. This is the best birthday present for me ever.
Oh my God.
Kelsey, it's good news.
I know.
We get that emotional over Taylor Swift, or maybe it was just the fact that her sister surprised her with awesome tickets.
I think it's Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
She sees her sister every day.
Right. Meanwhile, did you see this video of a very annoying girl in the front row of a Taylor Swift show screaming her lungs out?
Can't explain this.
Oh. Good Lord.
Now, again, let's defer to our producer, Allison, who just bought Taylor Swift tickets.
You got tickets?
I did. I was one of the lucky ones. It was a journey.
You must be rich.
What did you just... Did you have
I have
to
time
wait
on my hands.
Did you have to wait in some virtual waiting room or something like that?
Yeah, I waited in a virtual queue for 5 hours.
Oh, my God. 5 hours?
I had a lot of people depending on me. There's a lot going on. I was walking around this building with my personal laptop all day.
Wow.
Did you buy 2 tickets? Or
I got 6.
6 tickets? I'm just going to ask you personally. I mean, $500 at least?
No.
or $600?
It was the most I've ever spent on money, so I probably won't do it again. Yeah. It's $200
for 6 tickets
for a ticket each.
Oh, 2, 4, 6.
No, you don't need to add it, Nigel.
Do the math.
You don't need to add it.
I believe that's $1,200.
Boom. Boom.
But those people are paying you back.
Oh,
Yeah.
immediately.
Now, in terms of this woman screaming her butt off in the front row, I would be incredibly annoyed if I spent that much money and had some lunatic next to me screaming at a concert in the front row. I mean, there's a difference between singing along to the songs and doing what that moron was doing.
Right. Imagine paying Allison-type money for your seat, and then that person is sitting next to you.
Oh, man.
Oh, no, thank you.
No.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
For the first time ever since opening its doors, the Indianapolis Men's Clinic is now the only men's health organization offering an intimacy guarantee. That's right. If you don't perform, you don't pay. You heard that right. Restoring intimacy is important to everyone. Helping men with a proven solution is what drives success. That's why the Indianapolis Men's Clinic stands by their intimacy guarantee. Now you will have the assurance and confidence of proven outcomes without the fear of financial loss. By using the latest technology for the treatment of ED, acoustic wave therapy uses pressure waves to open existing blood vessels, which restores spontaneity and intimacy for you and your loved one. Stop trusting companies that feed you empty promises with no results. Trust an intimacy guarantee. Trust the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic today. 317-999-9000. That's 317-999-9000 or IndianapolisMen'sClinic.com.
Is your home's title still in your name? What would you do if you discovered you're the victim of a home title theft and that the one document that proves you own your home is no longer in your name? With Home Title Lock's free lookup service, you can verify your home is still safely in your name. Thieves can now discover the title to your home online. They simply forge your signature on a transfer document stating you sold your home to them. Then they take out loans on your home or sell it to some unsuspecting buyer. Homeowners insurance and common identity theft programs do not protect you. Home Title Lock does. Home Title Lock puts a virtual shield around your home's title to help keep criminals away. First things first, verify your home's title is still in your name with Home Title Lock's free lookup service. There's no obligation. It's absolutely free. Then register your address for 30 free days of protection. Visit HomeTitleLock.com/free. HomeTitleLock.com/free.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It still hasn't happened. 53 degrees with some rain south of Indianapolis under radar. Low of 50 tonight with more rain likely tomorrow. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:31. Donald Trump still hasn't been arrested, despite him saying he expected it to happen this week. Fox's Gernal Scott explains what's going on in New York.
Multiple court sources confirmed to Fox News a scheduled proceeding where there may have been witness testimony is canceled, and the grand jury has been told to be on standby for Thursday. So far, no reason has been given for putting off the session. The jury members heard from lawyer Robert Costello earlier this week. His testimony sought to discredit the earlier appearance of former Trump attorney and fixer Michael Cohen, who claimed to facilitate hush money payments to porn actress Stormy Daniels. The grand jury must decide if an indictment against the former president is warranted. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
2 faculty members hurt after being shot at a Denver high school this morning. The incident happened at East High School. The 2 victims were taken to a hospital. No suspect currently in custody. Police believe they fled the scene. Interest rates are going up again. The Federal Reserve's latest rate hike was 0.25 percentage point. The increase comes as the Fed tries to get a hold of inflation that hasn't been seen in decades. Police in Boone County may know what caused a wreck that closed I-74 yesterday. John Herrick reports.
On eastbound I-74, the Boone County Sheriff's Office says one of the tires on a semi blew out and the driver ended up hitting a utility van, which then caused the van and the semi to cross the center line and hit another semi. Police say 4 people were injured, but their injuries are not life-threatening. The Boone County Fatal Alcohol Crash Team is looking into it. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You'll be dealing with some light rain today, but it picks up later in the week.
Most of the area from basically Indianapolis southward is going to have the highest chance of heavy rain and possibly flooding.
Matt Eckhoff with the National Weather Service. He says most places in central Indiana will get about 2 inches of rain or possibly more tomorrow. Your stock report, the Dow down 530 points today to 32,030. The NASDAQ falling 190 to 11,669. The S&P 500 dropped 65 to 3,936. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:34.
Hey, Tamer and Nigel for Window Nation. Have you noticed your energy costs have been rising dramatically? Nationwide, energy prices have increased over 14% since last year. It isn't too late to do something to fix your high energy bills. Beat the spring rush with the last month of off-season pricing at Window Nation. Get 2 windows free with every 2 you buy with 0 down payment, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 24 months. New windows will pay for themselves with the energy savings on your energy bills, and you will pay nothing for 2 full years with 0% financing, saving you hundreds of dollars.
Go with the window company that has installed nearly 2 million windows, including mine. 866-90-NATION. Get 2 free windows with every 2 that you buy. No limit. Plus, no down payment, no payments, no interest for 24 months. This offer won't last long. Call Window Nation right now. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
With traffic at 4:35, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, looking at a crash southbound 69 at 82nd Street. 3 semis involved. 1 has been hauled off. Right 3 lanes are blocked. Traffic stopped all the way back to State Road 37. Crash downtown New York Street at College Avenue. And then north of Westfield, southbound 31 shut down at East 256th Street because of a crash. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road or on North Shadeland, DrexelIN.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Should be a wet day today, damp with highs in the mid-50s, lows tonight in the mid-50s with a few showers and thunderstorms developing early Thursday morning. We'll see highs on Thursday, top out in the mid-60s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 Stephanie Meade for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Can we get right into it, Allison?
Uh-oh.
Do we have to wait? I don't want to wait.
No.
Let's dive right in and talk about America's battle against COVID-19.
COVID-19, oh, I swear that I mean at this moment.
There are 3 vaccines.
China, piss off, now you've made
the world cough.
We're all nervous because of COVID-19.
A lot of people speaking in Washington today, including the Health and Human Services Director, Xavier Becerra. He testified before the Senate, and Wisconsin's Republican Senator Ron Johnson, not to be confused with the Ron Johnson from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, who was the stereo salesman who did unspeakable things to an underage girl in a dugout.
Oh, my goodness.
This Ron Johnson was slamming the Biden administration for refusing to provide Congress the unredacted emails, including those emails from old Dr. Fauci and foreign officials related to the origin of COVID.
You have produced 350 pages to us in the reading room. For over a year, we've been asking for the last 50 pages. Will you commit to provide us the last 50 pages of communication between Anthony Fauci, Francis Collins, Jamie Farrar, as relates to the origin of the coronavirus? Will you commit to that?
Senator, I absolutely will commit to make sure we follow up with you on your request to get some of that information. Again, this is in compliance with the law that you receive the information. I don't know what particular statute with regard to disclosure was applied here, but you are absolutely entitled to the information that by law a member of the Senate or the House could get.
Again,
follow up.
you're not complying with the law because you're redacting things, for example, under deliberative process between and within agencies, and it's communication outside of the agencies with the Wellcome Trust. Again, these redactions are not complying with the law.
These people bend themselves into a pretzel to avoid transparency. This is like a Biden thing. This is a left thing, too. Not necessarily just a Biden. We talked about this earlier with the grand jury in Manhattan court. There's, the former legal advisor to Michael Cohen is saying, They left like 600 pages out. They gave you 6. This thing isn't on the up and up.
They're laughing at your face. Now, President Biden did sign into legislation, some legislation to declassify info on the origins of COVID-19, but I think at this point we already know where it came from.
Right.
Everybody with a half a brain knows it came out of that Wuhan lab.
Even Washington outlets like, the feds are saying, yeah, we love you, Fauci.
Yeah, Department of Energy, FBI both came to the same conclusion. More than likely, it did not come from a pangolin making out with a bat or as I heard Rob Kendall say yesterday, a kangaroo. I heard him say that today. Yeah, a bat made out with a kangaroo and we got COVID. So, but when we see the declassified info, who knows?
So HHS Director Xavier Becerra, he was kind of the JV game today. The varsity game happened when the CEO of Moderna sat down and then Rand Paul chose violence.
Is there a higher interest or a higher incidence of myocarditis among adolescent males 16 to 24 after taking your vaccine?
So thank you for the question, Senator. First, let me say we care deeply about safety and we're working closely with the CDC and the FDA to
Pretty much a yes or no. Is there a higher incidence of myocarditis among boys 16 to 24 after they take your vaccine?
The data I've seen from the CDC actually shown that there's less myocarditis for people who get the vaccine versus who get COVID infection.
You're saying that for ages 16 to 24 among males who take the COVID vaccine, their risk of myocarditis is less than people who get the disease.
That is my understanding.
That is not true, and I'd like to enter into the record 6 peer-reviewed papers from the Journal of Vaccine, the Annals of Medicine that say the complete opposite of what you say. I also spoke with your president just last week, and he readily acknowledged in private that, yes, there is an increased risk of myocarditis. The fact that you can't say it in public is quite disturbing.
Don't try to BS Rand Paul because it's not going to go well for you. And this went on for like 5 minutes. So that's what was happening with COVID in Washington.
And by the way, the risk of severe disease or death from COVID with healthy college-age adults, like Rand Paul was saying, even as 16, what was he saying, 16 to 24, it's just it's too low to measure in an accurate manner.
And what's going to be left out of a lot of headlines is that Rand Paul even said, if you have a major underlying health condition, I'm not against it. But for healthy 16-year-old males through 24-year-old males, there's a lot of myocarditis that comes in after the vaccine.
Exactly. The severe disease and death, too low to measure. The risk of dangerous myocarditis and heart inflammation, not too low to measure at all. I mean, go back as far as December of 2021, a study out of Hong Kong. 1 out of 2,300 12 to 17-year-old boys who got both Pfizer doses suffered myocarditis. I mean,
that's a big number.
That's not too low to measure. The risk of severe disease and death from COVID in college-age students or younger is way too low to measure.
And again, it feels like there was a pressure campaign for healthy young people to get these vaccines.
There still is in this country. They've done away with it in places in Europe. They don't recommend. I think even in Canada, if I've double checked my notes, we had that story that Canada has stopped recommending that young, healthy adults get the vaccine.
Because we were told early on, natural immunity? No, that's frowned upon. Yeah. Well, it turns out that was full of crap. So people rushed out and got the vaccine when really, if you are a healthy teenage boy or girl, you did not need this thing.
Well, not to mention if you're a toddler or a 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old in that age range as well. And they're still trying to push that crap on our kids.
So how many times have you watched this PBS documentary on Dr. Fauci, Nigel?
I just seen the clips where he gets his ass handed to him by residents when him and what's-her-face are trying to push the vaccines in their communities, right?
Oh, we'll get to that. Is
that the one I'm thinking of?
Yes.
Okay.
But first, this one just came out too. There's a video in this new PBS documentary, which, by the way, is totally backfiring. PBS puts out this lovely documentary on Dr. Fauci, hoping it makes him look like some sage voice of wisdom. but it's had the opposite effect. It makes you realize how full of crap and how phony baloney this guy is. There's video in this new PBS special that shows Fauci just laughing at the idea that COVID could come from a lab leak in Wuhan.
The microbe they were working on not only was not SARS-CoV-2, it would be molecularly impossible for them to turn it into SARS-CoV-2. They were so different. It's kind of like you have a Chevrolet and you got a motorcycle. And you say, I want to make that Chevrolet into the motorcycle.
I'm not sure that's what these committee hearings are saying.
No.
We're finding out a completely different picture about gain-of-function research, and Fauci's trying to suppress the idea that this virus came out of a lab.
Hey, raise your hand if you want to hear some local townie hand Fauci his ass. Anybody?
I'm raising my
Anybody?
hand, yes.
All right. This is also in this PBS special with Fauci, and it really showcases, I mean, being serious here, the disconnects between the government, big pharma, and the black community.
People in America are not settled with the information that's been given to us right now. So I'm not going to be lining up taking a shot or a vaccination for something that wasn't clear in the first place. And then you all create a shot in miraculous time. It takes years to create vaccinations.
Well, it used to take years.
Okay, it used to.
You know how many years were invested in this approach? About 20 years of science to get us to be able to do it.
20 years is not enough. And 9 months is definitely not enough for nobody to be taking no vaccination that you all came up with.
The only reason I'm talking to you right now, as close as we are, is that I've been vaccinated.
Right.
But if it allows thousands of people like you don't get vaccinated, you're going to let this virus continue to percolate in this country and in this world.
Something like the common flu then, right?
And not
it's
like
much more serious than
Okay, you can stop it right there. So this resident is right there at his house. This is when Fauci and Muriel Bowser are going door to door and knocking, hey, we'll pay you to get the vaccine. And this dude wasn't having any part of it, and he had done his research. Again, this whole PBS special designed to make Fauci look good has had the opposite effect. All right.
Biden madness?
Are you ready? The national championship game.
Come on, baby.
Next. Biden madness on the Hammer and Nigel show.
What if you didn't have to continue working to live a lifestyle you're happy with? What if you could spend the rest of your life doing what you want to do when you want to do it, not worrying about others claiming your time and energy? Aspiring retirees want to know how to achieve the work-optional lifestyle. A much better question is, who can help you achieve this lifestyle? Working because you want to, not because you have to, is financial freedom. This is Brian Singer. My friend and colleague Casey Weed, the founder of Howard Bailey Financial, wrote a best-selling book titled Job Optional. I'm excited to be part of a team that has developed and refined a proprietary process designed to help people who are still working create a job-optional lifestyle. The Howard Bailey Retire with Purpose framework looks at 5 key areas of your financial life and then informs your choices to design a lifestyle as unique as you are. Retire with Purpose puts all the pieces of the puzzle together in a process designed to bring predictability and purpose to your financial life. We're not all things to all people. We are all things to some people. This means we primarily work with people who understand you don't need to know how, you just need to know who. Who knows how to fit all the pieces of the puzzle together to support your one-of-a-kind lifestyle? Who can do that for you and do it so well that that advisor team is the last team you will ever need or want? We work with people who expect their relationship with us to be transformational rather than transactional. Call us at 317-852-9153 to schedule a retirement readiness review and see how the Retire with Purpose process might transform your life. 317-852-9153.
Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Bailey Securities, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Working with Howard Bailey Securities, LLC cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved. Job Optional was the #1 Amazon bestseller in retirement planning on 7/2/19 and a Wall Street Journal ebook bestseller on 8/9/19.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go, shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hey, if you're thinking about getting your garage floor refinished as spring and summer roll in, don't do anything until you've checked in with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. My new garage floor from Galaxy Concrete is out of this world, trust me. It was done in as little as a day. They use this new material. It's not epoxy. That's kind of like the old standard all the other guys use. Galaxy uses polyurea, which is much better. That's the new premium standard for coatings. See before and after pictures at galaxyconcretecoatings.com or call them now at 317-751-9070.
Hey, Casey.
Yeah.
How would you feel if you lost out on $111,000 in retirement income?
Probably not great.
Yeah, so get this. 96% of Americans lose out on an average of $111,000 in Social Security income. And it's because they claim their benefits at the wrong time. Hey, it's Kendall and Casey.
Learn how you can avoid this with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Dummery, your retirement guy right here in Indy. If you've saved at least $200,000 and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis now by calling 317-932-9912. This free, customized analysis shows you exactly how to get the most out of your Social Security benefits, and it won't cost you a dime. Call 317-932-9912. That's 317-932-9912.
Get your air conditioner ready for spring and the hot summer ahead. On the south side, call Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling. Call themarshallnow.com, your American Standard air dealer.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's new design center on 146th Street at River Road or on North Shadeland. DrexelIN.com.
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
Still dealing with the 3 semi-crash on southbound 69 at 82nd Street. 3 right lanes are blocked and traffic is stopped back to State Road 37. Inbound 65 jammed at 21st and eastbound 72 downtown. Stop and go from Tibbs to Meridian, Illinois. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road or on North Shadeland. DrexelIN.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
53 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, and it's the national championship of Biden madness.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
One team has already punched their ticket into today's final. Who's going to be the other one? Let's check the numbers. Yesterday, we had a battle between the number 4 seed and the number 8 seed. The number 4 seed was Joe Biden describing America in a single word.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was in the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping, traveling with him. And that's we traveled 17,000 miles when I was vice president. I don't know that for a fact.
There's a lot going on there.
That's when he agreed to give me $3 million. Hand it out to all my family.
That was up against the number 8 seed, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. MLK III is in attendance. His wife, Andrea, it's her birthday. Here's your president.
Well, look, my wife has a rule in her family. When somebody's birthday, sing happy birthday. You ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Violet. Happy birthday to you.
Her name is Andrea, not Velvet.
Who won?
Happy birthday, Velvet, with 56% of the votes.
Yes. Okay, here we go.
So, to kick off our festivities, to welcome everyone to the national championship game, here with a pregame poem, your president.
Richard Blanco returned to a poem he wrote from the second inaugural of Barack and me. A poem, one today. It says, and always one moon like a silent drum tapping at every rooftop and every window on every country. Let me start this over again. I'm getting so intimidated by being here. and always one moon, like a silent drum tapping on every rooftop and every window of one county.
Okay, stop it. Stop it. I've had enough
Is it
of that.
county or country?
It's supposed to be county. Moving on. We got a lot of festivities to get to here before we have the national championship. Like every major event, the Indy 500 is an example. You have an invocation, somebody to give a blessing. Let's do one.
Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for all your blessings. You said in all things give thanks. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. My two children, Eli and Emma, or as we like to call them, the little E's. Lord, I pray you bless the drivers and use them tonight. May they put on a performance worthy of this great track. In Jesus' name, boogity, 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 amen.
Amen. That was our invocation. And now please rise and remove your hats for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see? And the Rockets, red flag.
Uh-oh.
I'll make up for it now.
No, you're not. And here in the great state of Indiana, a tradition unlike any other. Before we get to the national championship game, ladies and gentlemen, here to perform back home again in Indiana, Jim Cornelison.
The newborn hay sends all its fragrance from the fields I used to roam. When I dream about the moonlight on the Wabash, then I long for my Indiana.
There we go,
So
baby.
fired up right now.
All right. Allison, hit the music.
More music.
We have reached the national championship game of Biden Madness.
This is big.
We have two underdogs that have made their way through a very challenging field. There was an anyway region. There was a you-know-the-thing region. And these two challengers have punched their ticket for an opportunity to cut down the nets. Let's not waste any more time. The number 7 seed, the winner of the anyway region, You Ain't Black.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Good old-fashioned folksy racism from Joe.
Yep.
Taking on number 8. Again, I can't stress this enough. Her name is Andrea. Happy birthday, Velvet.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Valen. Happy birthday to you.
Voting is live right now on Twitter at Hammer and Nigel. It's pinned to the top. Biden Madness, the national championship is on the line. Vote now at Hammer and Nigel.
Season is coming, and storms in Indiana can be brutal, and your siding defends your home from the forces of the wind and the rain, so you want to make sure your home is protected with the best roofing and siding possible. You need Moss Roofing because they use high-quality James Hardy siding, and it withstands our Indiana weather. This fiber cement siding is strong and actually mimics traditional siding options. Moss Roofing installs James Hardy siding to help ensure your home's exterior is attractive for years to come, and Moss Roofing has got you covered in every way. They believe in honesty, integrity, and quality service, and they do great work right here in Central Indiana. Your roofing, your siding, insulation, all of it installed and priced perfectly with Moss Roofing. Contact Moss Roofing at MOSS, mossroofing.com, or call 317-747-3665, 317-747-3665, or online at Moss, MOSS, mossroofing.com, and tell them Tony Cat sent you.
In order for small businesses to thrive, they need to be smart, efficient, agile, staying ahead of the market at every turn, and finding ways to do more with less. That's never been more important than it is right now. So for a limited time, Comcast Business is introducing Small Business Savings, a deal for companies across the country. When you call in now, you can get powerful internet for just $39 a month for 12 months. $39 a month, with no annual contract and a money-back guarantee. All on the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses, with the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. So if you're a small business owner, don't wait. Call and get started today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Offer ends 4/4/23. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 50 megabits per second internet customers only. Requires EcoBill and autopay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Call or go online for details. After promo, regular rates apply.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's new design center on 146th Street at River Road or on North Shadeland. DrexelIN.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, more rain expected tomorrow. Flooding could become an issue. There was a shooting northeast of downtown today, and John Herrick reports on what people know so far about a wreck in Boone County Tuesday. All that and more after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You are listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
They know who he is, but not where he is. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Denver police say the suspect in the shooting of 2 high school deans today is 17 years old, Austin Lyle, accused of opening fire after a handgun was found during a required daily search of him at East High School.
He was secluded with just these school administrators during this safety protocol, and so he did flee that location where the search was taking place and was able to get out of the school before anyone else was able to secure or subdue him.
Denver Police Chief Ron Thomas says one administrator was critically injured, the other in stable condition, while a manhunt continues. Fox's Alicia Acuna, whose children attend East High, says many parents were never told about a safety plan that includes pat-downs of certain students. Florida's Republican Governor Ron DeSantis wants to expand what critics call the state's Don't Say Gay law, which bans in-class teaching on sexual orientation and gender identity in kindergarten through 3rd grade. The expansion would extend that through high school.
The proposal would not need approval from the state legislature, only a vote from the Florida Board of Education. That vote is set for next month. The Don't Say Gay approach has become a national talking point among conservatives who support it and critics who say it marginalizes the LGBTQ plus community.
Fox's Gernal Scott, this ahead of a possible DeSantis run for president. The TikTok CEO due on Capitol Hill tomorrow on the defense over security concerns.
TikTok employees are actually roaming the halls here in Congress, trying to convince the press corps to talk with TikTok influencers in order to gain some sympathy ahead of this big hearing. Congress has not passed a ban yet, although there are some proposals out there. The Biden administration, though, is reportedly threatening a ban if Chinese owner ByteDance doesn't sell its stake in the U.S. version of the app.
Fox's Aisha Hasni. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Concerns of flooding. Cloudy, 53 degrees downtown. Not much on the radar after some light rain earlier. You've got a low of 50 today. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. It's supposed to rain even more tomorrow.
It's looking like up around 2 to maybe upwards of 2.5 inches by Indianapolis. Down by Bloomington, it could be more towards 3 to 4, maybe even 5 inches in some spots.
Matt Eckhoff with the National Weather Service says the rain will pick up Thursday night into Friday morning. Flooding will be something to watch out for in low-lying areas. One person hurt after a shooting in the northeast side this afternoon. IMPD says it happened off North Rural Street around 2:30. The victim was sent to the hospital in critical condition. Officers are still investigating. Eaton police say the search for a missing 14-year-old boy has not been called off. Scotty Morris was last seen around 8:30 p.m. March 17th. Officers in Eaton are working with several agencies, including state police, to find him. If you know anything, give the Eaton Police Department a phone call. Indy Metro Police believe domestic violence is the reason behind a shooting on the south side this morning that injured 3 people. Officers got a call just after midnight about 2 women with gunshot wounds walking into Franciscan Health. Police believe they were shot while trying to keep a man who was also wounded from shooting himself at an apartment near Troy and Madison Avenues. That man was detained by police. A wreck in Boone County Tuesday they sent 4 people to the hospital. John Herrick reports.
The Boone County Sheriff's Office says a semi was going eastbound on I-74 when one of its tires blew out and the semi hit a utility van. Both the van and the semi ended up crossing the center line and hit another semi. 3 people were taken to a hospital by ambulance. Another was airlifted to a hospital. And police say all 4 of them will be okay, but the investigation is far from over. John Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
Noblesville High School may be expanding. Their school district announced Wednesday they're planning on spending about $39 million on an expansion that would add classrooms, STEM labs, and much more. It's all going to be funded by a loan, so there's not going to be an increase to public tax rates. The school board will vote on that project this summer. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
I realize the complexities of the human body and its ability to heal itself.
That's orthopedic surgeon Dr. John Herzog talking about regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics.
It's a very well thought out process, and they use it in all the professional teams around the world.
Regenerative medicine uses healing agents from your own body, like your blood or bone marrow, highly concentrated and delivered right to the achy joint.
By putting it in the spot where it can't normally get to, you can facilitate healing.
At QC Kinetics, they are the nation's leader in this exciting field of medicine. Lasting pain relief with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery.
People are very happy to have an opportunity to get better without going through the entirety of a medical procedure.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain are no longer the only ways. Learn more about regenerative options that could help you get your life back. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 317-559-PAIN. That's 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN.
With traffic on the 5s at 5:05, here's Matt Bear.
We are bumping today, all on the north side to inbound 69 crash, 82nd Street, 3 right lanes, block traffic stop to State Road 37. And the new one, westbound 465, just after Michigan Road. This is a crash blocking the slow lane. Traffic stop back to Meridian. Southbound 31 is closed north of Westfield. Southbound 31 shut down at 256th Street, backed up to 266th. Traffic sponsored by the NRA annual meetings and exhibits April 14th through the 16th. It's the NRA annual meetings and exhibits in Indianapolis, April 14th through the 16th. 14 acres of the latest guns and gear. NRA members and their family get in free. Join at nraam.org. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
The wet weather continues. We'll see a few showers tonight and a better chance of rain coming our way on Thursday. More widespread rain, heavier downpours, flooding will become a concern as temperatures warm to the mid to upper 60s by afternoon. I'm Storm Track 8 Chief Meteorologist Ashley Brown on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
Donald Trump really has been in the media for the past couple of weeks now. I mean, it's the lead story everywhere, and he's getting a lot of free pub. I think he loves every minute of it with this possible indictment being handed down for inappropriate campaign finance violations, hush money to Stormy Daniels to keep quiet ahead of the 2016 election. Somehow they're interpreting that as benefiting his campaign, and he did not disclose it. So now they're going to arrest him for it.
There's also rumors that there may be, the good old-fashioned tax fraud involved in this, too. Like, it feels like this New York, Manhattan court, man, they're throwing every dart at the board because they want to make sure their campaign promise of bringing down the Orange Man comes true.
Meanwhile, crime continues to skyrocket. They let violent criminals out of the prison system. And it sounds familiar, by the way.
Right.
Sounds very familiar. But the grand jury was called off today for this whole Trump thing, and it doesn't look like the DA, Alvin Bragg, total left-wing progressive, Soros installed.
And he's fat, too.
I was trying not to get personal.
I mean, I can say this because I am a fat guy, right? There are certain rules that go along with it. Abdul can say things that we can't, and as a fat guy, I can say, that's a fat man.
So he called off the grand jury today, told him to be ready for tomorrow, but it doesn't look like anything's going to happen. This thing's been delayed over and over and over again ever since news broke on Trump's social media that he was going to be ultimately arrested on this past Tuesday.
The more delays happen, though, the more you allow speculation and rumors to start to circulate. Because already we're hearing, is this delay happening because there's some dissension inside this grand jury? Do they not buy what's being shown to them? And the legal advisor of Michael Cohen was Donald Trump's former fixer, if you will, the guy that arranged the payment to Stormy Daniels. His legal advisor basically said, you guys aren't getting the full story here. They left a lot of documents on the table. He lied to you. He is a convicted perjurer. So maybe, just maybe, there is a little dissension inside that grand jury.
I think if this doesn't happen, it is... Well, wait, let me ask you. If this doesn't happen, if the indictment doesn't come down, the arrest doesn't take place, the perp walk, the mug shot, is there a part of Donald Trump that's a tad disappointed?
The only man in America that's sad that he's not going to have a perp walk opportunity. But you're right, because we've talked about this. If there is an arrest, he is going to make this the greatest show on earth.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a little P.T. Barnum, a little Vince McMahon, a little bit of everything. He's going to walk with the cuffs behind him and do like a chopper presser and talk to the reporters. He's going to have that mugshot picture. And, you know, some people would say this is all the Democrats want. But there's another side that says this is going to be the greatest gift to Donald Trump's campaign that you could possibly give him.
He galvanizes his base. He gins up the MAGA crowd, or as Biden would call them, the MAGA extremists.
Right.
Whatever that means.
Ultra MAGA.
Ultra MAGA.
Ultra MAGA.
Yeah.
A new report published by the Select Subcommittee on the Weaponization of the Federal Government and House Judiciary Committee show extensive collusion between the Biden administration and the National School Board Association.
Oh, yeah, sure. You remember this. The NSBA asked Biden to maybe draft some sort of letter labeling concerned parents showing up at school boards.
Yes.
School board meetings across the country as domestic terrorists, and Biden handed that over to his old golfing partner, Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, and that's exactly what happened.
The letter, and again, this is from the Department of Justice, trying to classify parents as domestic terrorists, asking specifically that Attorney General Merrick Garland use the Patriot Act, implemented after 9/11, to go after parents expressing criticism over school lockdowns, what's being taught to their kids in the classroom, and inappropriate sexual content in the classroom. Now, we're going to have Tony Kennett on coming up here in about 30 minutes. He's going to talk a lot about what's happening here in Indiana. But really, you could go back to Loudoun, Virginia.
Yeah.
That was kind of ground zero for parents waking up, discovering what's happening in their schools.
Yeah, and they wanted to make sure to keep Glenn Youngkin out of there. They wanted McAuliffe, their guy, to be installed as governor. This was part of that. And if you read into this report, Merrick Garland never really investigated whether the National School Board Association and their claims were even true. He never did an ounce of investigating. He just said, nope, okay, yep, we'll do it. And it's purely political. He wanted to paint concerned, frustrated parents as domestic terrorists.
And then when he got caught, he denied it.
Of course he did. Yeah. Oh, you got me, guys. Sure, you're right. I didn't really even follow up on the NSBA's accusations. I just signed off on it, and yeah, you got me. You're right. I'm sorry.
Can you imagine if this lunatic was on the Supreme Court? Because he was very close.
He was waiting in the wings there.
He was Obama's choice, and then somehow, some way, Cocaine Mitch decided to play hardball and got him removed. So Donald Trump was able to get his own people in there. But this is just another reminder. These people hate your guts. They hate you. They don't want you to to have any say in what happens to your children. They want you to shut up and comply when it comes to COVID and all the things that go into that. And if you need proof, this is Dr. Fauci. Remember when Dr. Fauci said this about COVID?
I was talking with our UK colleagues just today who were saying the UK is very similar to where we are now in outbreak because each of our countries have that independent spirit, but we don't want to be told what to do. Well, I understand that, but now is the time to do what you're told.
Oh, okay, really?
I understand that. No, I don't think you do, you crooked old bastard. Do what you're told. So ridiculous.
We did what we were told, and it didn't work. The lockdowns didn't work. The masks didn't work. The vaccines were ineffective at stopping the virus or keeping people from, sometimes even keeping people out of the hospital. Nothing worked.
And if you're concerned about what your children are being taught in school, I don't necessarily like the angle that my child is some sort of oppressor. He's in 3rd grade. Can we pump the brakes on that? You are a domestic terrorist. You are not allowed to come to the school board meeting. You will put up with all the CRT we can handle, Skippy. Shut up and do what you're told. Ridiculous. All right, Matt Baer standing by in the WIBC Traffic Center.
All right. Look at the southbound 69. This just happening. Just kept it at 82nd Street. Crash clear. There we are. All lanes are now open. Southbound 69 at 82nd. The 3 semi crash is gone. Traffic still stopped back to State Road 37. That will get better here momentarily. Looking at westbound 465 after Michigan Road. Yeah, that's a crash. Right lane blocked. Traffic stopped back to 31. And then southbound 31 still shut down north of Westfield at 256th Street. Traffic sponsored by the NRA annual meetings and exhibits April 14th through the 16th. It's the NRA annual meetings and exhibits in Indianapolis, April 14th through the 16th. 14 acres of the latest guns and gear. NRA members and their families get in free. Join now, NRAAM.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
54 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Indianapolis is under attack, at war with rampant crime, drugs, and homelessness. But Mayor Hogsett is unwilling to join the fight. In fact, under Mayor Hogsett, Indianapolis now has a murder rate higher than Chicago. Do you feel safe knowing that? But Jefferson Shreve is ready to take back Indianapolis. Jefferson Shreve will put more cops on the street and give them the support they need. We don't have to live like this. Jefferson Shreve is ready to rebuild, restore, and reimagine Indianapolis. He's a winner in business, so he knows how to lead a team to turn things around. No more empty talk. It's time for action. Because another term for Mayor Hogsett is another 4 years of the same problems, only worse. This may send Hogsett a message. Vote for Jefferson Shreve for a change. Paid for by Shreve for Mayor.
Hi, it's Bob from Royal Spa. Soaking in a hot tub full of Epsom salts is the absolute best way to minimize everyday aches and pains. And we know all about Epsom salts at Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are the only hot tubs on the market that can safely and effectively use Epsom salts. Made right here in Indiana, Royal Spa hot tubs are the highest quality hot tubs on the market. Visit any one of our 3 Indianapolis locations or visit royalspa.com.
Ah, Royal Spa. Well-changing question. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? High taxes can erode returns quickly, so you need a tax-optimized portfolio. At Creative Planning, our money managers and specialists work together to make sure your portfolio and wealth are managed in a tax-efficient manner. It's what you keep that really matters. Why not give your wealth a second look? Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Tired of eating at the same old places? Try Jay's Lobster and Fish Market in the Garage Food Hall in the Bottle Works District, downtown Indy. Named one of Indianapolis Monthly's best restaurants in 2021. Jay's specializes in lobster rolls, but also serves up incredible crab and shrimp rolls. A New England-style seafood shack, bringing a taste of the East Coast home to Indiana. You've got to try it all. Lobster rolls, lobster mac and cheese, lobster grilled cheese, and more. It's all at Jay's Lobster and Fish Market. Visit today.
What do you want your vision of retirement to be? Do you want full-on retirement where you don't work anymore and you're just living the sweet life? Or are you looking for a work-optional lifestyle? A little something to get you out of the house, make a little scratch on the side, but you also want some time to hang out and enjoy all the awesome things that life has to offer. Whatever it is your vision of retirement is, wherever you want to live, let the team at Howard Bailey customize a plan specifically for you. It's not too late. It's not too late at all. All you have to do is contact the team at Howard Bailey and let them customize a plan. You follow the plan, and bada bing, bada boom, you're living the sweet life in retirement. Go see the Howard Bailey difference. Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Bailey Securities, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Working with Howard Bailey Securities, LLC cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
My name is Sophie.
Sasha. Robert. Ron. And I'm alive thanks to my nurse practitioner.
My nurse practitioner saved me from a lifelong heart condition.
She prescribed the right medication. My NP diagnosed my multi-organ failure.
My NP listens.
She saved my life. Twice. And I will always be grateful.
To learn why millions of people choose NPs, visit us at wechoosenps.org.
Paid for by AANP.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start. Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV?
What? No way, dude. Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen. To draft an agent for your team, visit shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Save up to $170 on a set of 4 tires after rebate, or save even more when you finance at Bell Tire. But for just one day, Sunday, March 26, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Bell Tire's one-day Sunday sale. All tires, all brands, for any budget. Save up to $170 on a set of 4 tires. Sunday only, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you need new tires at the lowest tire price period, then save up to $170 on a set of 4 tires. Buy online, save time at Bell Tire. Installation at a later date. See store or belltire.com for details. Restrictions apply.
Life is all about enjoying the little moments. Don't miss out on them because of unexpected heart issues. At Community Health Network, you receive heart care you can trust. From simple screenings to life-saving diagnostic and interventional cardiology services, we offer it all, so you can get back to the moments that matter. Learn more about our services at ecommunity.com/heart. Community Health Network. Exceptional care simply delivered.
This hour is powered by Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling, your American Standard air dealer in Johnson County.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. Hello. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. We had that story out of Miami over Christmas, the drag queen Christmas, which allowed people under the age of 18 to attend if they were accompanied by an adult at this venue, which, had a liquor license, served beverages there.
It was a big high-profile hotel. It was like the Hyatt Regency.
Right. And so lots of inappropriate stuff going on at the drag show. I don't know what it is with twerking in that segment of the population. Seems to be a lot of twerking in kids' faces.
Right.
As if you scroll through Twitter, you're going to see a lot of parades and a lot of, dancing and it's not just the drag queens here. It's the parents that are complicit in all this.
Right.
I mean, you can't bring a kid to a strip club.
Right.
I wouldn't imagine you'd be able to bring them to a venue where there's drinking going on and that kind of lewd behavior.
Whether it's a drag queen or Daisy out on stage number 3, I don't want anybody twerking in front of my young child.
So drag queens, God bless them, they say Florida venues are now turning them away after Governor DeSantis pulled the liquor license for that hotel that hosted that inappropriate drag show where underage guests were involved.
So there was booze, there were drag queens, there were kids. The drag queens are making this out to be Ron DeSantis hates us, but really it's just about an age discussion here, isn't it?
I mean, are 14-year-olds clamoring to get into drag shows? When I was 14, I was upstairs in the loft playing Super Mario Brothers.
That's not what you were doing up in that loft. I think it's funny that you try to pull that over our eyes here.
But you see my point.
You told me you were brushing your hair.
And the water running all day? Oh, Gary! My little thing with this, with the drag shows and the kids and, story time in the libraries is... story time in the libraries is one thing. But, taking them to these lewd parades and these venues that where the gyration and you see body parts hanging out,
right?
It's just
you don't want your kids to see that the same way you wouldn't want them to see what's backstage at a Motley Crue show, because whether it's
and I've seen that, you would not want your kids to see what goes on.
You've been there, right?
Backstage at Tommy Lee's for sure, but I just. So if the drag queens are having trouble getting venues to open up their doors for their performances, can someone just get a bouncer at the door to check the IDs and make sure everyone is of legal age? I mean, is that
card them like it's a bar?
Yeah, I don't have anything against drag shows. I've been to them in my early 20s. I was at I think it was like a Christmas party my hairstylist was throwing, and I got invited, and I think I was hanging out with one of the chicks that worked for her, and I've never been to anything. It's a wild scene, man, but there weren't any kids there.
Right. And this has nothing to do with, whether you like drag queens or not. It's an age type of thing. There are some things adults can enjoy that are probably inappropriate for kids. I used to love the Emmanuel series. Do I want my, young kindergartner to watch that? Probably not.
Emmanuel.
Space and Bangkok, by the way, 1 and 2 on my list.
The good old days of trying to watch scrambled adult cinema.
Right. Like, phones have kind of ruined that, right? The softcore genre doesn't really exist anymore because everybody's got iPhones, and boom, you can go straight to the good stuff.
So if there's somebody that's a trans person or a drag queen that likes to, a man that likes to dress in women's clothes, we're not against you. We don't hate you. We think you should have, rights just like everybody else.
The pursuit of happiness.
Do whatever you want. Just maybe enough with the twerking in front of the kids at the parades and the venues.
Correct. And if you want to have a show, have somebody that's a bouncer that cards people going in. That way, the venue doesn't get in trouble. You don't have, like, DeSantis threatening to take away your liquor license. And let's be honest, you want the older folks in there anyway. They're the ones that have the money. If you're twerking for tips, it's not the kids that have any money. It's a bad business practice. Big Nige, hit me with a little mood music, please.
Who is this?
Nana Cherry.
Nana Cherry, okay.
The song is Buffalo Stance.
Yeah, I got it.
So there's a rapper named Rick Ross, and he has pet buffalo.
Of course he does.
And apparently the neighbors aren't too happy with the boss, Rick Ross, because the pet buffalo are escaping and they're roaming all over their lawn doing buffalo stuff.
So I'm assuming he doesn't live in like a residential neighborhood at the very least, right?
It's a pretty big plot of land.
Okay.
He lives on this big plot of land in Fayetteville, Georgia. And according to TMZ, a couple buffalo or do I have to call them bison? I'm not sure which one. Buffalo or bison wandered onto the neighbor's property not once but twice this past week. Now, the neighbors are ticked off because they've got like young kids and they're concerned that a freaking 2,000-pound buffalo might get a little squirrely and hurt one of their kids.
Well, and I think those things could get quite aggressive. I mean, bisons can, toss you 10 feet in the air if you're not paying attention.
Didn't we have a story not that long ago about somebody like hiking and a ticked off buffalo came over and was just giving them the business, man? So my question to you, Nige, you actually have a pretty good relationship with your neighbors.
I do.
Would you rather have a neighbor that's just a hard partying drug addict that plays rock music all hours of the night, or has wild 2,000-pound buffalo that escape and they go on your yard and they crap and they scare people?
I'd rather have the buffalo.
Really?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, and by the way, have you ever had a bison burger?
I have.
Just on Ted's Montana Grill?
Yeah,
Man, so good.
There's one of those down by the Edinburgh Outlet Mall, I believe.
That's Mike's Montana Grill.
That's Mike's Montana Grill. So I get those confused.
Yeah, but no, I don't want hard partying drug addicts as my neighbors. No,
You'd rather have a 2,000-pound ticked-off buffalo goring your children.
At least I could... Kids, come inside. Rick Ross's bison are in the front yard again.
Well, he is the boss, so we're going to allow it. Once again, I need some mood music.
All right.
Going to the chapel and
When was the last time you went to a good old-fashioned wedding, Nige?
Probably my cousin's wedding, or maybe my stepsister's wedding. No, probably my cousin's wedding in like 2020. There's an outdoor wedding.
I don't think I've been to a wedding as a guest in years. I usually go to work as the wedding DJ.
Right.
But I'm wondering, since we are a Fox News radio affiliate, if we're going to get invited to Rupert Murdoch's upcoming wedding. He is tying the knot again at the young age of 92.
Oh, boy. The loose skin and saggy balls. Ugh.
Gross. 92-year-old Rupert Murdoch has announced he's engaged to his 66-year-old partner, who's a former police chaplain.
66? That's a little old for him, isn't it?
Right?
He just got divorced 7 months ago.
So maybe the 66-year-old has been there for a little longer than he's leading on. Maybe she was like the side chick, and she caused the divorce, and now he's making it official because, let's be honest, he's running out of time.
Yeah, and there's some sort of prenup going on there with the billionaire head media mogul that is Rupert Murdoch.
I would think so, but why would this 66-year-old fuddle the hog of this old 92-year-old if he wasn't going to give her some money?
She's in love with him. It has nothing to do with money. Come on, Hammer. They're newlyweds. They're in love.
I'm not saying she's a gold digger, but I still haven't figured out what rhymes with gold digger. All right, coming up next, Tony Kennett of the Daily Signal will join us. We'll chat with him right after a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Not done with the rain yet. 53 degrees and cloudy. Mostly clear on your radar. You've got a low of 52 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:31. We've got a little bit of rain already today, but more is expected tomorrow.
We've got a lot of rain on our way Thursday, but it looks like it's mainly going to be late in the day Thursday, maybe Thursday night into Friday. Most of the day Thursday could be actually fairly quiet.
Matt Eckhoff with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says most places in central and southern Indiana could get anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rain between Thursday and Friday. Police are searching for a student accused of shooting 2 faculty members at a Denver high school this morning.
As part of a safety plan, they were undergoing a search. During that search, obviously a weapon was retrieved, a handgun was retrieved, and several shots were fired, striking those 2 individuals.
Police Chief Ron Thomas says the incident happened this morning at East High School. He says the 2 victims were taken to a hospital. One is in surgery, the other is stable. The Federal Reserve is hiking interest rates again despite concerns over the banking system.
The committee raised the target range for the federal funds rate by a 0.25 percentage point.
bringing the target range to 4.75% to 5%.
Chairman Jerome Powell said inflation remains too high and the labor market is very tight. He added the work to get inflation down at the central bank's 2% goal has a long way to go. President Biden will take a trip to Ottawa, Canada tomorrow. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby said he'll meet with Canada's Prime Minister to talk about his administration's commitment to the U.S.-Canada partnership. The war in Ukraine, clean energy, and supply chains are just a few of the other topics they're expected to cover. The Indiana Pacers back in action tonight against Toronto. In a recent loss this week to Charlotte, head coach Rick Carlisle said their rebounding was a positive.
But the ball security was very poor, and we got to work on it headed into Toronto, which is a team that turns you over.
Tip-off tonight in Toronto at 7:30. With traffic at 5:33, here's Matt Bear.
Inbound 69, still brutal from State Road 37 to 82nd Street. The crash is cleared. We are still stopped. The disabled vehicle cleared westbound 465 after Michigan Road on the north side. Traffic still stopped from Michigan past 31. Southwest side, it is a stalled truck. Eastbound 465 at Man Road, left lane block stopped past 70, almost to Sam Jones Expressway. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets, visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road or North Shadeland, DrexelIN.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And a forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
The wet weather continues as we'll see a few showers tonight and a better chance of rain coming our way on Thursday. More widespread rain, heavier downpours, flooding will become a concern as temperatures warm to the mid to upper 60s by afternoon. I'm Storm Track 8 Chief Meteorologist Ashley Brown on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. It is the Hammer and Nigel Show. Hooking up live with Tony Kennett, former STEM administrator and educator, now writes for the Daily Signal. Tony, what do you have your eye on in the state legislature? What bills are getting through? What's the one everybody's talking about right now?
Well, the bill everyone's talking about in Indiana is HB 1608, which has now made its way over to the Senate. For everyone listening, that is the bill that A, prevents schools from teaching lessons on gender identity K through 3, and number 2, requires schools to notify parents if they're going to start using a different name or pronouns for the kid. So, piece of parental rights legislation. The Indiana ACLU has lost their ever-loving minds over it. Everyone else seems to think it's a really good idea.
Is this the bill that a lot of people have tried to hijack by calling it Indiana's Don't Say Gay bill?
Yeah, WTHR, the Indy Star, several other news publications have tried to paste this bill as the Don't Say Gay bill. They've also tried to say it's the slate of hate because I guess rhyming words make things more true. I'm really amazed that we're still using this kind of language when the bill's like 2 pages and doesn't say anything about banning the word gay.
What about the other? Is this the same bill as well that would ban gender-affirming care, including puberty blockers and surgeries?
It's not the same bill, but that is one that's starting to make the rounds. The Indiana House is really looks like things are going really well for the House and the Senate as far as this is concerned. And that's good because we shouldn't be sterilizing our children. I think you should have to wait until 18 before you decide to cut something off.
So these two bills here, let's make sure we get the clarity. They are separate bills. One deals with what happens in schools. The other bill deals with what happens with anybody under the age of 18 when it comes to making that decision to change your sex, correct?
Yeah, and any kind of medical treatment like that. You know, we don't let kids under 18 smoke or drink. And no, you shouldn't be able to cut off your organs just because this week you think you're a dog. That's not how that works.
Even if the parents approve of this. See, my whole thing is, look, we could have a separate discussion about parents and kids. If your kid has gender dysphoria, whether or not you should affirm that or not. But the whole thing about kids chopping off appendages and puberty blockers and medical things that have lasting consequences well beyond their understanding, I'm not down for that at all, even if the parents are.
Well, no, you're not allowed to give your kid, a whiskey at the end of the day. You're not allowed to go say, hey, 13-year-old, here's a pack of Marlboros. Why don't you go out back and unwind? You can't cause harm to your kids, kind of not allowed. So, no, just because you're a parent who really believes that your 10-year-old is actually a girl, no, doesn't mean you can go cut his penis off. That's not how it works. That's called child abuse. That's not called good parenting.
And you would think an organization like the ACLU would be vehemently against child abuse. But that's not the case here. You look at their Twitter feed and some of the statements that the Indiana ACLU has made here, Tony. These people are lunatics, and the people that support what the ACLU are doing are lunatics too, and they're trying to dox you. I've seen people write horrific things about you, putting your family's information out there. That's the peaceful, tolerant left at its absolute best, isn't it?
I got on Twitter and suggested that maybe if you're going to argue that transgenderism is a very mentally healthy state of being and that we need to improve access so that kids can participate in transgenderism, maybe don't send the 15 hair-colored, obese person who's going to scream at the House and Senate to be your testifying individual. I don't think that really showcases being mentally stable. So they decided to go and grab pictures of my family and like weird old pictures from like my cousin's wedding and post those online and say, well, you have a family member that's overweight. It's like, well, perhaps, but they're not going to the State House to testify, are they?
Right.
Go back to the first bill that we were talking about, 1608, teaching gender identity K through 3 and pronouns and stuff like that. Why did they stop at grade 3?
Well, most of the model legislation in the country suggests that right now, at least, we're going K through 3 because once you hit 4th grade and kids start to, enter into the fringes of puberty, this is where sex education would start to come in public schools. Personally, I believe that there is no minor that should be exposed to a lesson on gender identity ever. It is and has been a mental illness that causes severe depression and a very high risk of suicide. I don't think we need to put kids in a situation to flirt with it, but the K through 3 is involved with the sex education cutoff starting point.
When you look at the topic of sex things with the education system, there's a lot of states right now around this country doing various things. I think I just read that Arkansas was the latest state that said, yeah, we're not going to have open bathrooms for everybody. Is this because of what happened in Loudoun County, Virginia? Ground zero for a lot of these discussions. They tried to be super progressive. They said, we've got open bathrooms. We want everybody to get along. Well, they had some improprieties, to put it mildly, take place inside these restrooms. Then they tried to cover it up. So by trying to go so over the top progressive and woke, really, Loudoun County in Virginia ruined it for everybody across the country, right?
They absolutely did. I mean, you had a 15-year-old boy pretending to be a girl who went into the girls' restroom and then raped a girl. And then they put him in another school while they were trying to figure out what to do with him. And he sexually assaulted 2 other students. And this is the kind of situation that you run into when you have someone that has a clear mental illness. They clearly need help. You don't just affirm them, tell them that they're a wonderful person and tell them to do whatever they want. That's a very horrible idea. And yes, it's wonderful to see Arkansas and Missouri issuing executive orders that say, no, we're not going to let kids get pushed into this really just for the heck of it because we think we're really wonderful. Kids are not political pawns to be used. You don't science experiment on children because it's fun or because you're woke. It's disgusting.
On a national level, we're speaking with Tony Kennett here, Tony Kennett Show here on Saturdays 1 to 3. Randy Weingarten, she's one of your favorite characters.
Yeah, she's real special, ain't she?
Teachers Union. She tweeted this out. The fact that little from my curriculum from the 90s would be legal to teach in Florida in 2023 is horrific. We can do better than this. What exactly is she talking about?
Well, the interesting thing is that she never released to the public any of the curriculum that she used in the 90s.
It always happens like that, right? They never back up their accusations with actual facts.
No, in fact, in the 1990s, we weren't bringing forward any ideas of critical race theory. Gloria Ladson-Billings had just barely introduced it in 96. Look, if Randy Weingarten is admitting to the public that in the 1990s she was teaching kids about gender identity or that all people of certain colors were good or evil just because they were a certain skin color, that's a rather horrific thing to admit. And I think she's a liar.
And we've talked about this before, Tony, but I think it bears repeating that just because a teacher is in the teachers union and they've got this lunatic, Randy Weingarten, a.k.a. Joe Namath, as the head of their organization, doesn't necessarily mean they go along with all of the things that she says.
No, it absolutely does not. There are a lot of wonderful teachers who are a member of the AFT, which is Randy Weingarten's union, or Becky Pringle's NEA. That's what the ISTA is a part of. A lot of these teachers are just in the union because they want protection. They're worried that they're going to be in a situation in which the administration is going to accuse them of something and fire them, which does happen. Unfortunately, a lot of teachers' union dues that are upwards of $1,000 a year in Indiana end up going to Democrat campaigns instead of making their working conditions any better.
Tony Kennett joining us from the Daily Signal. So in terms of leadership for educators, specifically in the state of Indiana, Jennifer McCormick used to be the leader of the education system in Indiana. She is no longer in that position, but there's still chatter she may run for governor. Is this a threat to Republican leadership in the state of Indiana?
Jennifer McCormick lives in contradictions. I do think that she is a threat because she has the teacher's vote. She can say, I worked in a Republican administration. The thing that goes against her most is that she is absolutely clinically insane and that everything that comes out of her mouth, it doesn't even sound nice. Like some people from the left talk and it's like, well, that sounds nice, but unfortunately the real world doesn't work that way. Jennifer just starts like talking and she's like that crazy kid off of the old Wild Thornberrys cartoon. And you're just like, good Lord, someone let this person out in public. She really is an insane individual. And I do not believe that her education policies do anything at all. She has the gall to look at a state that spends half of its annual budget on education and say, we're not spending anything on education at all. Oh, wow. I too can't read numbers, I suppose.
Meanwhile, these administrators at these schools driving around in some pretty nice cars, making six figures, like the social media coordinators at these schools are making ridiculous amounts of money, but yet it doesn't seem to trickle down.
No, it never does. You know, you have superintendents like Dr. Hall making like $180,000 a year for running his district. You have these upper level administrators that make tons of money before the kickbacks. I mean, the amount of embezzling that goes on in Indiana schools from upper administrators is insane. I mean, when I worked at IPS, the textbook companies that would come through did everything short of offering me, a BMW if I would speak highly of their books. And I'm not joking. I mean, they really do pump public education administrations full of money, and teachers never see a dime of it.
Speaking with Tony Kennett, can you stick around for one more segment here, sir?
You got it.
All right, we'll be right back. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday morning at 8. Join John as he exposes industry myths for financial truth seekers looking to navigate their retirement in the best way for them. Visit creativeplanning.com/radio.
Hey, Casey.
Yeah.
How would you feel if you lost out on $111,000 in retirement income?
Probably not great.
Yeah, so get this. 96% of Americans lose out on an average of $111,000 in Social Security income. And it's because they claim their benefits at the wrong time. Hey, it's Kendall and Casey.
Learn how you can avoid this with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Dummery, your retirement guy right here in Indy. If you've saved at least $200,000 and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis now by calling 317-932-9912. This free, customized analysis shows you exactly how to get the most out of your Social Security benefits, and it won't cost you a dime. Call 317-932-9912. That's 317-932-9912.
No doubt the tournament is heating up, and there is no better place to get in on that action than FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers what they like to call a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. All you got to do is go to FanDuel.com/WIBC, sign up today to claim your no-sweat first bet, and then you could wager on everything from the money lines, to the point spreads. Say you're somebody that likes to bet heavy on underdogs. Maybe you take San Diego State plus 7.5 against number 1 Alabama. But if that bet doesn't end up working out, you get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets. So don't miss your shot at a no-sweat first bet when you join FanDuel today. Just go to FanDuel.com/WIBC to sign up. 21 plus and present in Indiana. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
In order for small businesses to thrive, they need to be smart, efficient, agile, staying ahead of the market at every turn, and finding ways to do more with less. That's never been more important than it is right now. So for a limited time, Comcast Business is introducing Small Business Savings, a deal for companies across the country. When you call in now, you can get powerful internet for just $39 a month for 12 months. $39 a month, with no annual contract and a money-back guarantee. All on the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses, with the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. So if you're a small business owner, don't wait. Call and get started today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Offer ends 4/4/23. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 50 megabits per second internet customers only. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Call or go online for details. After promo, regular rates apply.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Skyworks Equipment Rental has the right construction equipment and tools you need to get the job done. To rent, purchase, or schedule service, stop by their Indianapolis location or visit skyworksllc.com. Skyworks, building America from the ground up.
Introducing small business savings from Comcast Business. For a limited time, you can save money on powerful internet. So don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply.
Ensure your comfort year-round. Join Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling Service Club from Johnson County's premier dealer. Call themarshallnow.com, your American Standard Air dealer.
Hey, we're pretty social people at WIBC. You can find us all over social media. See what we're up to on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. We're never more than just away. Just search for 93 WIBC.
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
The stall cleared on southbound 69 at 116th Street. Right now, traffic is still stopped back to 116th. And we are stopping go down to 82nd. Looking at the south side, another wind westbound 465 looks good. Eastbound 465 also with that stall just clearing at Man Road. Traffic stopped back past I-70. And westbound 465 north side at Michigan Road. Stall cleared, still slow to Meridian 31. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road or North Shadeland, DrexelIN.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
53 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
The Hammer and Nigel Show back with Tony Kennett, investigative journalist for the Daily Signal, also former STEM administrator and educator with the IPS school system. One more thing on the gender-affirming care bill making its way through the legislature. Like, you know, I understand, I totally get the no puberty blockers, the no surgery for kids under 18, no matter what the parents say. But gender dysphoria is a real thing, and it's a mental condition, and nobody's doing away with, like, the mental health aspect of it. I mean, this is a real thing, and kids and families go through this, and it's very difficult.
So this is always the classic scapegoat that's thrown up by the left, this kind of red herring where they'll say, well, you know, Republicans just want to erase trans kid from existence, like Thanos. We want to snap our fingers and they just want to fade into dust. That's not true at all. A lot of Republicans in the state of Indiana, in fact, the vast majority of functioning adults, want kids to receive help for the conditions they are suffering with. However, if you are dealing with someone who has anorexia or bulimia, you don't tell them to lean into their horrible plan of throwing up their food. You get them help. If a kid comes up and tells you, hey, I think I'm a girl and it's a boy, you don't lean into what is giving them so much mental stress. You provide counseling, therapy, things like that will reassure the child that they are perfectly fine born in the body that they have. You don't give them a bunch of drugs and give them a knife and say, hey, see you later, hope you feel all right. That's a horrible horrible way to deal with mental health.
Tony, we got about 2 minutes left here. Shifting gears completely. Do you buy the argument that some are making that Donald Trump might want to be arrested, and he wants a circus, and he wants the spectacle, he wants the handcuffs, the perp walk, the mugshot, so he can show everybody how corrupt the justice system really is? Do you buy that argument?
Oh, I absolutely buy that argument. I think that Trump is a man who lives off of political theater, and why wouldn't he? I mean, in the same reason that when angry journalists get mad at me on twitter.com, I love it. You feel free to scream and bleed like that guy from WTHR who had a meltdown. Well, thanks for the additional 2,000 followers and more people reading my work and actually scrutinizing what I'm doing. And if Trump wants to engage in political theater to, push his foreign policy ideas or his recent domestic policy ideas, honestly, I think this is a pretty good way of doing it. It's a horrible blunder for the left.
Where can we find more of your works, my friend?
You can find me over at dailysignal.com. I'm releasing an article actually here in a few minutes after. So when everyone gets home, I'm sure they'll rush home to see what I've written.
Yeah,
other than that, you'll find me on Twitter at @TheTonus.
And the Tony Kennett Show, which is here on 93 WIBC. Tony, thanks so much, man.
Thanks, guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Your neighbor Mark loves spring in Indy, but he hates to paint. So he called Rhino Shield.
It's a two-story home built in 1992. Around 2001, looking at needing to paint, I heard a radio ad, with Rhino Shield, you won't have to paint again for another 25 years.
That's because Rhino Shield's not paint, it's better.
They're very professional. We had everything done. Everything that would typically be painted on a house was done, and it was very fast.
All right, Indy, get the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 15% off the regular price.
It was done in 2001 and still going strong. From what I've seen on our home, they can easily offer a 25-year guarantee and not worry about it.
Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
No paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
The 64th Annual O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels. World of Wheels Custom Car Show. March 24th through 26th, Indiana State Fairgrounds. Discount tickets exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. See America's finest hot rods, customs, trucks, motorcycles. The cars are the stars. All weekend. The O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels. World of Wheels Custom Car Show. March 24th through 26th, Indiana State Fairgrounds. Purchase discount tickets exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts stores.
Are you working way too hard for way too little? There's never been a better time to consider a career in IT. You could enjoy a recession-resistant career in a rewarding field with plenty of growth opportunities and often flexible work environments. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. You could start your new career in months, not years. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to qualified students, including the GI Bill. Now is the time. mycomputercareer.edu.
Tony Katz here for Premier Arms in Brownsburg. This is your premier gun store. Premier Arms has the experience and know-how to help the new gun buyer and the most experienced marksman. They've been in business for over 20 years and have a friendly, knowledgeable staff that wants to help you, not talk down to you. Premier Arms in Brownsburg is family-friendly, so bring the kids. All ages are welcome. Everyone can find what they're looking for at Premier Arms in Brownsburg, 3754 South Green Street. Online at premierarms.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. premierarms.com. Storm season is coming, and storms in Indiana can be brutal. And your siding defends your home from the forces of the wind and the rain, so you want to make sure your home is protected with the best roofing and siding possible. You need Moss Roofing because they use high-quality James Hardie siding, and it withstands our Indiana weather. This fiber cement siding is strong and actually mimics traditional siding options. Moss Roofing installs James Hardie siding to help ensure your home's exterior is attractive for years to come. And Moss Roofing has got you covered in every way. They believe in honesty, integrity, and quality service, and they do great work right here in Central Indiana. Your roofing, your siding, insulation, all of it installed and priced perfectly with Moss Roofing. Contact Moss Roofing at MOSS, mossroofing.com, or call 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665 or online at Moss, MOSS, mossroofing.com, and tell them Tony Katz sent you.
you. This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. The CEO of Oregon-based Entech says the company has eyes on continued growth in the Wabash Valley. The battery component producer announced plans yesterday to invest $1.5 billion to establish a manufacturing campus in Terre Haute, which Larry Keith said brings many benefits.
The site is shovel ready. It's got all the gas, water, power available. We like the education system that Terre Haute, or Indiana, I should say, is offering. It just rose to the top of the surface there.
Keith said the amount of battery separators the facility will produce is only a fraction of what will be needed to support EV battery production, which creates a, quote, tremendous opportunity for growth. A graduate of the Purdue University College of Pharmacy has committed to giving $20 million to the school to establish a new leadership academy. Marcel Sassola says the gift is intended to help prepare a new pipeline of pharmacy graduates to innovate and lead in an ever-changing healthcare landscape.